Good evening and welcome, one and all, to Pacific414 Pop Talk. I'm your host, Mike, and tonight marks a new era in Pop Talk where we will go for 2 hours discussing hopefully 5 topics. And in that 2 hour period, the rules are as follows. As you can see here, tonight's Pacific Forum 4 Pop Talk will be for 2 hours. I will read enough of the article to get the framework of the story. Then we will discuss it for 10 minutes and move on to the next article. If we are still talking about the article after 10 minutes, I will sound the buzzer to signify that it is time to move on to the next article. And what is that buzzer sound that I'll be playing? It's this. And I will keep playing it until we move on to the next article. If that doesn't work, then I will play this.
You will be silent!
And if that doesn't work, then I'll resort to Johnny Lawrence. So this was voted on Twitter and here Sunday on the Sunday morning edition of Pop Talk. But before we get underway with the first article, I do want to say good evening to Phil McCracken.
How's it going?
It's going good, Phil. Hope your day's been good.
Yeah, treatment day, but I'm here.
If you need to rest, if you need to bow, I understand, brother.
Oh, I'm here for you, man. I don't want to let you up here by yourself, man. I'm here for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But honestly, Phil, if there's a point where you say, I got to go, I understand.
Gotcha. If I do that, I'll type it into your private chat and let you know.
Okay. And of course, you were the first one here with your emoji. And then we have Jet Sparks 373. Welcome, Jet. He says, sup, programs. Then we also have Games, Movies, and Comics Are Us. Hello to you, brother. And Jet Sparks says, content warning because of me. No. The content warning has been there for quite some time. I just decided to refresh it so everybody can see it a little better. And yes, free the stream. And Gap is laughing. And sound the buzzer and Phil. I don't know that that's exactly going to work, but I do want to welcome in our next panelist, Mr. Jack Sparks.
Hello, everyone. I'm here tonight, but like I said, I'm not having my camera on because I'm actually multitasking with other things. So if I show my camera, I'm just going to show my keyboard here because I'm actually just trying to write too.
That's understandable. So you already know how we're going to try it for tonight. You know, this has room for flexibility. You know, if it doesn't work quite as planned.
And we need to constantly stay on topic. We do not need to be going on tangents about anything.
Yeah. And, you know, that's why I wanted to ask everybody, all the subscribers, everybody who was, you know, follow me on Twitter. What would you prefer? An hour long, an hour and a half, 2 hours, or 3 hours? And the majority said they would like 2 hours. Now, I do want to say that on Wednesday, October 5th, Pop Talk will only be for an hour because I will then follow up with the season 4 finale of the box score, talking about the Cubs and their final game of the 2022 season, what to expect in 2023, and we'll also take a look at the upcoming playoffs, which I will chime in every now and then with the box score and Mound Visit, as that is the box score's off-season program, because that will cover everybody. While the box score itself covers just the Cubs, and then I will go in and give the scores and standings like some of you saw last night, if you're not familiar with the long form of the box score. And real quick. Yeah. Thank you, Phil, for that update.
No problem.
And input says today is a good day. Yes, today is a good day. And Gap says no tangent, Phil. And input says, I'm fine with however long y'all talk personally. Tangents are fun usually. Yes, and I don't want anybody to think that the fun and games of Pop Talk are going away, but I know if we're gonna keep it, at 2 hours or under 3 hours, then we got to keep things moving. I'm just going and letting you all know right now instead of letting you all know at the last minute. Sunday morning Pop Talk is pretty much staying the same. As a matter of fact, Sunday morning Pop Talk is still using the original intro. I just put the new graphic that you saw in the beginning of this one in front of that one too, along with the warning and disclaimer being updated as well. So the articles I have for tonight, now whether we get through all of them or not, that is another thing, but that's why I still put the links in the description below. We're going to be talking about the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel and the details that were revealed at Nintendo Direct. We're also going to be talking about an article from Bounding in the Comics, 2 articles from Bounding in the Comics to be exact. One of them is talking about Prime Video being accused of buying praise for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. And the other article from Bounding in the Comics is talking about One Piece Film Red, set sail outside of Japan. So we will find out when exactly that is and where it'll be. Then I have an article from the Hollywood Reporter talking about the Twitter shareholders approving the sale to Elon Musk, but the lawsuit still remains. And the first article I am actually going to start with is none of the main 4, but it's one that caught my attention. It's too bad it couldn't have come out last Thursday. And it's from Yahoo Entertainment, and it says the best Star Trek series ranked. So let me go ahead and copy the link, and I will put that link into the chat. This way you can all look at it if you would like. So this article is by Chris Snowgrove, sorry. And it says the best Star Trek series ranked. So we're not going to read what he has to say about each of the series. We're going to go right to the rankings. So coming in at number 10 is Star Trek the Animated Series. And before I continue, I do want to add Gap After Dark. Welcome, Gap.
Welcome, everyone. Here's my theme music. Dun 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 dun.
Well, I do have a clip I could play if you'd like me to play a clip.
Please. Yes, clips are good.
All right.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Bzz, give the buzzer on that.
Oh, I will. I can play the buzzer till my heart's content, to be honest.
Where did you find that? I love that freaking buzzer.
A voice mod. I was looking through different sound effects to think, okay, what am I going to use to sound off the buzzer or sound off the bell to let everybody know, including myself, because I know I can get on a long ramble too. I'm not counting myself out.
Can I get a little bit of a response from Phil? Phil, for some reason, I cannot see your comments in chat. Can you, in private chat, send me your YouTube channel so I can have YouTube check why I cannot see any of your... I can't see any of his responses at all.
Well, first of all, I don't have a YouTube channel.
How do you get on here then?
Oh, I'm special. It's the magic of Phil McCracken.
Buzz. Play that buzzer.
You know, it sounds like a little 5-year-old on a little kiddie ride, and they have like little cars. You go around yeah, that's what it sounds like.
You know what, Phil? You know what? I mean, I could play. anytime someone gets on a tangent,
Oh, I approve of the Benny Hill thing. I approve of the Benny Hill thing.
Okay, Phil, if you don't want me to see your comments, that's fine.
No,
But you have to have
I'm all seriousness. You can ask Mike. I do not have nor desire to have a YouTube channel. No.
he
Okay,
doesn't
so-
have a YouTube channel.
But that's weird. How can he show up in the chat then?
Because I can see him in StreamYards.
Okay, I can't see any of his chats. Well, okay, that's fine. Never mind. Continue.
All right.
It's the mysteriousness of Phil McCracken.
Well, I think just YouTube caught on to you. But anyway, what's the first article? Let's look.
This first article, before we go into the main ones, is Yahoo Entertainment ranking the best Star Trek series. So instead of reading what the author said, because that will take some time, I figured I would go ahead and go to the rankings. Coming in at number 10 is Star Trek the Animated Series.
Which one?
The only one.
No, there's two because they even had
Phil?
an animated series for TNG.
Buzz.
Phil,
Yeah. What's up?
don't make me do it.
I just asking you a question. Which one?
My hand is on the trigger, Phil. It's on the trigger.
It's a legitimate question because there is two. There's the original and
There's only one, Phil.
There's the only one.
no
The
there's
animated
two.
series.
Oh my
Star
God.
Trek the Animated Series.
Look how this is going. We just got to the first ranking.
So coming in at number 10 is Star Trek the Animated Series from 1973. You know, something I made mention of last Thursday.
I was just asking you which one.
There's only one, Phil. There's only one. I do not count Lower Decks.
No, I'm not talking Lower Trek. There is an animated series of TNG. They only had two.
No,
No.
there isn't.
Thanks.
I'm gonna have to show it to you after the show.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks for trolling. But
and thanks to input. Thanks, input. I can't type responses right now. I'm on my phone. All right, number 10, the only Star. Okay, where are we? Number 9.
Number 9, Star Trek Enterprise. I'd rank it a little higher than that, but that's just me. Coming in at number 8 is Star Trek Prodigy.
Mm?
Coming in at number 7, Star Trek Discovery. Coming in at number 6, Janeway needs more coffee because even she can't believe it by that look.
Oh my God!
Is
look at
Voyager.
her face. Oh my God! Look at her face.
What's wrong?
Janeway
It's
can't
just a-
believe
it's
it.
just a face.
What the hell? I'm number 7.
Mr. Kim, are you sure about that? Yes, ma'am.
Are you two friends? Yes. No.
Coming in at number 5, Star Trek Lower Decks.
Only one thing I can say.
Oh.
That black chick basically violated the Prime Directive. I'm not a Star Trek fan, but even I know this.
I haven't seen it.
That is the one. No, I saw that clip and just even heard it. Just no, you do not. That is the number one rule of a Starfleet officer: is you do not violate the Prime Directive. Do not give any developing civilization any piece of technology that has not been invented yet for them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she violates it because she's the best as ever.
Coming in at number 4. Why? It's
What?
only had one season.
Really?
I'm playing the buzzer for this sucker. Because this not only that, this is absolute pure
Trash.
pure thing. on.
Oh my god!
Wait. Listen.
Did you need to stop? Are you out of your mind?
Are you out of your mind?
You're good at mind, man. You guys timed that right with I'm cursing or what?
What the hell is going on here, for crying out loud? I go from the stable Raymond Feliciano's over this chaos. What's up?
You know that, Baron. You know what you're walking into when you come here.
Hearing that beep button. Now I did see something with Space Travel's gutter decks, and I see strange new people on there. So you must be dissing the new Space Travels.
This is a ranking according to Yahoo Entertainment, and look at Janeway's face, finding out that Voyager's ranked number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's find.
It's Voyager is a little bit on the lower end for ranking. I know Phil McCracken loves Voyager.
I do.
Actually,
and anybody in their right mind who doesn't take drugs would put that over top anything new, including Lower Decks. Yeah. There's my quick response.
And Phil also loves Enterprise.
No, I don't love it.
I know.
But I would take it over Lower Decks any day of the week.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's still a great Star Trek compared to what they got.
Once again, violated the primary. It's basically Rick and Morty. It just might as well be.
Oh.
In fact, why don't we just have a crossover while we're at it? Right, I forgot. The rights are split. Forgot.
I was going to say, don't give them ideas. They'll do it.
Oh, okay. Excuse me, school teacher Mike, principal Mike.
Yes, Mr. After Dark.
Can we shortly abbreviate what we feel on each section, because we might forget by the time we get to number 1?
Yeah, go ahead. Permission granted.
No, you've done enough for Strange New Worlds. I just want to see what the next one is.
Well, what did they rate that one on? I mean, I'm kind of coming in a little.
Strange New Worlds is ranked at number 4, and it's only had 1 season.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Oh.
Yeah.
Shells. Okay.
Yep.
No.
So, coming in at number 3 is The Next Generation.
Oh, I'm afraid what's at number 1.
Might I add that lady in the bottom right-hand corner in that horrid outfit?
Counselor Troy.
Poor lady. With outfits they made for her before they actually let her wear the uniform.
Well, they had to
Phil, I was saving this for Cash Money, but I'm going to go ahead and play it. Cash, I hope you're listening.
What the hell are you talking about? Oh, my guidance counselor says that certain words perpetuate this sexist worldview that could trigger... Quiet! From now on, you won't listen to your guidance counselor. You're going to listen to me. Is that understood? Yeah, Sensei.
Exactly. Destroying wokeness. Johnny destroying wokeness since darn it, I don't even know how long Cobra Kai's been on. Or
since 2018.
Okay, but I'm gonna go back all the way to the original Karate Kid, I guess. But
since '84.
Since '84. Okay, gotcha. I know I've only seen the movies. I haven't watched Cobra Kai at all, and I know I feel like a complete jackass saying that.
They got that photo squished around those morons.
Yeah. But Jet, you haven't watched Cobra Kai?
Well, no, I never thought about getting it, but I know one thing: I don't even want to get Netflix because a certain French film that a very questionable movie is the reason why I freaking canceled my Netflix. Because yes, this is something that that was something people needed to watch. No, what the hell is wrong with you, Netflix? What the frick is wrong with you? And the lady who made it, what you think that's empowering? They're children, you.
Yeah, that the Citric situation that had me finally cancel Netflix. It's like Big Mouth was bad enough. Citrus was. That's it. You're gone. I left something a nasty little thing in there when I unsubscribed. So I'm
Yeah,
surprised Vince didn't visit me.
and I really had to like go. I mean, I told them I wanted to cancel, but they still took my around the time like when it was supposed to be my thing was supposed to be processed. They still took the money out when I said I canceled it, and I literally said the only reason all I just simply put is yes, that movie exists, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I am third with them people that I canceled mine when that movie was released, and I never will purchase Netflix ever again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it goes on a rebound and becomes something great.
I'm with y'all.
Well, its greatness is gone. It's
Well,
gone.
I'm going to admit to the panel and to the chat, I did reactivate my Netflix subscription so I can watch the 5th season of Cobra Kai.
For shame for you. We ostracize you.
If I had the buzzer, I'd play it on you, Mike.
I'll go ahead and play it on myself. I just wasn't going to pirate it.
Oh, I respect you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, back to Next Generation. Why did like they make Counselor Troy wear those outfits though? I mean, sure they look good on her, but what was the reason? Was it out of respect?
Sex
like
appeal.
in universe, what was an in-universe reason for why she wore that outfit?
Sex appeal. It wasn't
Yeah,
so much
sex
in universe.
Well, see, in the first
explanation.
episode, in Counter at Farpoint, she was wearing one of the scants that they had, the uniform scants. And
yeah,
then
there was barely anything there.
Mm-hmm. And then for the they started having her wear that one outfit for the first season and such. I think it was in universe or whatever reason, being that she was a counselor, they wanted to make her seem more approachable than if she was wearing a Starfleet uniform. And of course, when they had the episode, Angelico made her wear the uniform. Actually, I think Marina Sirtis actually was kind of saying, "Hey, I want to wear a uniform." The uniform is,
Okay,
really makes
at least that she was being like assertive about that. And I mean, look, I always thought that that was like somewhat out of respect for her because she's half human, half Betazoid.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Right.
regardless if you will call her counselor or what, they're still a doctor, and she's entitled to the blue uniform. Just as Cash Money ain't here, but the redhead there in the middle.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, Dr. Beverly Crusher.
Yeah, see, Troy is a lieutenant commander, and of course, Crusher is a full commander. So,
Which is why in the episode Descent and Descent Part 2 with a skeleton crew, Beverly takes command.
Okay.
Just that I felt sorry for the actress because I mean there were some uniform outfits she looked good in, but there are some hard outfits they made that poor lady wear. I'm glad I was glad when they start letting her wear the uniform. I'm glad she never took it back off.
Good.
The only
Well, that's a
time
good
she
thing,
actually
but-
wore a uniform prior to Chain of Command was Future Imperfect.
Yeah, I love what DJ Ronnie G put in the chat. MILF status.
no status.
If you really want to see true MILF status, see the character she voiced in the first Mass Effect game. She voiced Matriarch Benezia, and again, sorry matriarchs, they get so more ample when they get up there to between the ages of 700 and 1,000 years.
Yeah, baby.
Who was doing the voice work?
Deanna, the actress who played Deanna Troy.
Maria Sirtis? Okay.
Yeah, she voiced Matriarch Benezia.
I see. I like Crusher. I had a crush on Crusher.
Oh my God, I got a feeling who's next. Who's ranked number 2? No,
that is a crime.
Yes.
There's two things. My dad would find this blasphemous, and he would find the animated series at number 10 blasphemous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, my dad's the bigger Star Trek fan. I probably see him as like the only like Star Trek encyclopedia I know, because the only thing I've known about Star Trek is that I've watched like First Contact multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you talk about anime, you're talking about Gutter Decks, not the Star Trek the animated series.
No, they had Star Trek the animated series at number 10.
It's
Oh, okay.
in last.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
here's
mean-
but also here's another thing though. To answer Phil's question, there was an anime, but it was like a fan. It was just a fan made. It was a fan made short in that style, in the same 70s style, but it was for an episode of The Next Generation. It wasn't a full series.
Yeah.
They did it in the style for Best of Both
Filmation.
Worlds Part 1.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it, actually. And then they did something else. I can't remember
And
what
yes,
they did.
yes, I am a Star Trek fan.
Yeah. Well, you can see the video for yourself.
Yes, but it was a fan edit.
That's still. Did we say we're going to kick out fan?
Okay.
I didn't recall saying.
All right. And, as far as the original series being ranked number 2, that's why I didn't include it in my list last Thursday. I just did the spinoffs.
Yeah.
Because the original series, in my view, stands on its own.
It is.
Yes.
And I was saying this before on the show prior that I was on. Captain Kirk, I feel, is the best captain out of all of them. And the reason why is he really seriously took counsel from Spock, the logic, and McCoy, the emotion. And with their back and forth, use that to come up with a decision, like a wise commander would. And yeah, I mean, his decision might not have worked out the best way, but the thing is he was not above listening to what the crew was and those two were doing to make his decision. It shows that Kirk was really a true leader in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Something you missed with the other series. You didn't have that triumvirate with any of the other seasons.
No.
You had
they
it with
tried
Star
to do
Trek.
it in a small way with Next Generation by having the triumvirate be, Picard, Riker, and Data, but it just wasn't the same.
No, it didn't really get in there. Plus the fact they were wanting to have that show, a full-fledged ensemble show where everybody gets the limelight, and you can't do that. That's what made Star Trek was, Shatner was the star. These two gentlemen were the co-stars, but they worked together the way they did, and you have that centered around, and everybody else were day players. Basically, you want to sit back and say,
supporting cast.
Yeah,
That's
the supporting
the best
cast.
way to say it.
Yeah,
and regardless what they say today, they all, when they were all signed and ready to start filming for the original episodes of Star Trek, they knew it. They knew going in there when Shatner was the star, Dr. McCoy and Spock were the co-stars. They were just supporting cast. I love everybody in there, but that's just the fact. And without them three, it would not have worked, and they could not be all inclusive like they did in TNG.
Right. Basically about the animated series, you really started getting that cohesiveness of the full family thing, because obviously the animation and the voice talent work, they weren't able to get Walter Koenig to do the voice work because they didn't have the money for it. But you had Takai and you had Nichelle Nichols and everybody else on there. So that's where you really started seeing that solidifying that these people are the core group of Star Trek, which went on to the Star Trek Phase 2 plan and then eventually the motion picture. But
Don't
still,
forget, the two supporting cast members did not join for the animation, and that was the one who played Chekhov and what was the name? The other one that sat beside him.
Sulu was there.
He was there. He didn't do he wasn't fully into it. He was doing it, but they were skipping over in some episodes. They brought the alien to replace.
Well, no.
No, they brought in the
alien-
alien to replace Chekhov.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
because he was voicing. They couldn't afford having everybody back, so they did not have Walter Koenig on.
Yeah.
Walter Koenig did write an episode, but they
The Infinite
replaced
Vulcan.
Walter. Yeah, so they replaced him with Eric's, where were they able to actually do an alien on the show. So he was the navigator, and I believe he was voiced by James Doohan. James Doohan and Majel Bart, and he did a lot of the voices of the other characters on the show, like Lieutenant Moress, who was the communications officer with Vacation. I believe that was Nichelle Nichols. Not Nichelle Nichols, but that was Majel Bart doing that part, as well as being the nurse, Chapel. So a lot of the characters and a lot of the aliens they were providing because again they weren't able to get the smaller budget. They weren't able to get everybody.
No.
But you had Takai, you had Nichelle Nichols, Majel Bart, Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelly, William Shatner, so James Doohan. They were all involved with the show. And one little thing, Ted Knight from Mary Tyler Moore Show, he actually made a guest appearance on the animated show as a voice.
If I remember correctly, I still to this day do not know why they canceled it because it did have high ratings. It wasn't like it was a low-rated TV show, Batwoman. The ratings for it were quite high.
I've got an answer for you, Phil. It was on NBC.
Yeah. Even
Well,
back
that
then, NBC was crazy.
well, plus it was a kids show, so they weren't taking it serious, or they viewed it as a kids show. Really, it was the next season, the fourth season of Star Trek, because they didn't go down. Originally, they were going to go down the path where they're going to have kids and this and that. Somewhere along the line, somebody nixed that completely, and then they basically said, "Well, let's pick up where we left off." So you're getting still serious Star Trek in a half-hour format. The networks look at it as a kids, and it's like, okay, a couple seasons of it, fine, we're done with it. Take a look at a lot of these shows that we had when we were growing up. They were popular, but they didn't last that long because of whatever was with the networks.
Yeah.
And even animated shows cost a lot to do. I mean, even Filmation with their reusing the stuff over and over again. I mean, we've seen their work with He-Man and various other stuff too. But it still is an expensive, time-consuming process.
Mm-hmm.
So I was grateful and thankful that we even got the animated series because I'll be honest, I felt a loss when we didn't get any more Star Trek live action. So getting even animation, it was perfectly fine with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is what they should have done to begin with.
You know, I will say this. I always thought Dorn should have been approved for a Klingon show. I would have fought for it, could be even if it was animation for a Klingon show.
There were two show concepts. One, the Worf show that Michael Dorn was fighting for to do. And then there was also a heavy push to do a Sulu show where he was on board the Excelsior, basically Adventures on board the Excelsior. That didn't come to fruition. And it should have. Now, despite what we think of George Takei, we love Sulu. That would have been a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Sometimes you have to shake your head on what they were thinking.
Well, exactly.
They weren't thinking.
No, they weren't. And and with the Sulu show, you would still have the opportunity to bring in some of the old cast. I mean, I'm sure Koenig and Nichelle Nichols would have been more than happy to make a guest appearance on the show. I mean, a lost opportunity, horrible lost opportunity, especially with some of the stuff that we got.
And you could even consider the Voyager episode Flashback sort of a series pilot pitch.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was what it was when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought that was going to be a pitch for an actual show.
One of the sad things about that episode was how Grace Lee Whitney kind of just walked through the part, like she was just phoning it in. It's like, come on, I love Rand. Be a little bit more into it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say, I think the list got the first two backwards. I would have put the original Star Trek 1 and Deep Space Nine number 2. I don't have any issues of Deep Space Nine being over Voyager. I mean, TNG. I don't have any problems with it because I hate to say this, to me, Deep Space Nine was a better show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's definitely my dad's favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the original
Mm-hmm.
and the animated series.
I think you started getting the thing when Gene Roddenberry, boy, I have to remember which franchise I'm talking about here, was doing Next Generation. He didn't want to have conflict with the cast, the crew. The thing is the big thing about the original series was the conflict between McCoy and Spock. I mean, it wasn't a violent, mean-spirited one, but it was spirited, but not mean-spirited, and you needed to have those opposing viewpoints because that was again something to help make you also think. No, not just Kirk, but even us for watchers of the show. We're getting the arguments back and forth on there. When you got rid of that for Next Generation, it became stale. Wood cutouts walking around. We're kumbaya. We're all whatever. You needed to have some sort of conflict in that aspect of differing viewpoints. You're just a robot series. And of course, that's what one of the things was a problem with Next Generation, as well as the fact that, especially in the beginning, we want to have this as an ensemble show and focus on everybody. You can't do that. You are not able to do that.
And I want to say this: the image that we're seeing in there with the young lady in the middle wearing the blue.
Oh yeah, Terry Farrell.
Terry Farrell as Dex.
She was done wrong before the final season and being replaced. One day you had to cover it. That lady was done wrong.
She has to leave, Phil.
Yeah, she wanted to leave.
I understand she has to leave, but you have to understand the reason why she wanted to leave. She was pretty much forced to have no choice in the matter. You have to. One day you'll have to cover it. If you see her talking about it, you'll understand why. And like I said, for them to kind of get her in the tirade for the final season, that, bite your tongue. Afterwards, you can part ways. That's the way I've seen it. Nothing against the new actress that came in. I thought she did a wonderful job.
Oh, she did, yeah.
But she was only there for one season, and you're replacing one of the original cast members of Deep Space Nine. Yes, we loved her when she was with Worf, but we loved her even before Worf came over.
Oh yeah, the flirtation between her and Bashir, and
I liked the way she did with Odo. She would move his furniture by a fraction of an inch, but it was enough for him to notice because he was so. How can you put it nicely?
He was so observant.
Yep, and he knew it was her, and that was hilarious. But like I said, to round it up real quick, one day you have to cover why she left, and when you find out, you're like, yeah.
And the one thing you just sat back and said there, hi Pops, about the doing the little things like that. Star Trek Deep Space Nine started bringing in that true Star Trek humor that Next Generation didn't exactly get.
No.
There were too straight-laced on there, and you didn't have those sly little moments like they did in the original show, and then, of course, Deep Space Nine. And it's not one of those things...
Wait, Baron, what are you talking about? We had a light-hearted moment on Next Gen. Don't you remember?
Well...
Data.
But not enough of it. Notice it's a later episode.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Go ahead.
That was actually from the actual show.
It was actually better when he got the emotion chip in Generations. That was a lot more, I thought, better than what they gave him in there. Not saying that wasn't a bad scene. Not saying it.
No.
But it was 10 times better, and that was one of the few bright spots in Generations when Data gets that emotion chip.
Right. And the thing is they should have given those ships in midway through the series and then focus around him adjusting to it and these emotions and asking questions about these emotions that he's now experiencing. That would have really done wonders.
But going by Kirk and doing a comparison with Cisco, all through Kirk, we all knew he had a fondness for, climbing cliffs, right? That was his thing. We didn't get that with the other people. But with Cisco, we got the love of baseball.
All right, Niners, let's hear some chatter.
Hey, batter, 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 batter. Hey, batter, 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 batter.
Death to the opposition.
But, Cisco and Kirk, I say, were the two most, out of the captains, the most filled out to the T. We know him in, we knew him out, we knew what. Look, if they never made an episode again, you knew in your mind what he would be doing. Same thing for Kirk. The other ones, and I'm throwing in Mr. Picard. No, not so much. Not so much. I take Cisco. I mean, if you want somebody on as a leader, look, Cisco got the whole band together to go and play baseball.
So
Kirk
how would you? Oops.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh, I was just gonna try to speed it up, but this question may not speed it up. How would you rank the captains? I would go Kirk, Cisco, Janeway, Archer. Am I skipping anybody? Oh, Picard.
You can forget Picard. I do all the time.
I don't know. Never mind. I don't want to get into why, but let's just say a recent series that just came out with him in it. But anyway.
Yeah. I know one thing. I don't want to say my ranking because again, not much of a Star Trek fan, and also secondly, I don't want to cause a flame war.
No. But the thing is he did destroy the character with that series, and that's the sad thing. The interesting thing about Cisco is Cisco would do things that Kirk would never do. And sometimes the things that Kirk is accused of doing, Cisco did, but he needed to do it, like doing the lie to get the Romulans and having someone killed that knew that it was a lie. I mean, it was, but the thing is, he knew that he needed to do that to get them involved because they were losing. Yep. Kirk wouldn't have done that.
You have to remember, he's not on a spaceship. He's on a stationary, space station, which technically the Federation's allowed to run, but it doesn't belong to them. So he's already walking a tightrope. And really, the Federation don't really have a presence there. They build up for the Dominion War, but really, that's it. It's their space station, and that's it.
Yeah, now, mind you, the Bajorans asked them to come in and run the station.
Right.
Now, mind you, my statement, none of that statement was tearing down the character. On the contrary, it built the character and put nuances in there. That you saw two people in different would be in different situations that were difficult and how they would approach it. Would Kirk have done that? He would have done a different way. But Cisco did the other way. And it's nice that there is a difference between them and not the clones on there. So, he's on a station that was made by the Cardassians, now controlled by the Bajorans, and Starfleet's afraid that he's going native. I mean, this guy's got a lot on his shoulders, and he's called the Prophet.
But what about also was different, but didn't happen with Kirk, is Cisco and his son's relationship. That was a
the relationship that Cisco had with Jake was a very well-developed relationship. You had Wesley on Next Generation, but usually it was about Wesley saving the day. Right. With Jake was trying to find himself.
And that's what they should have had. Yeah, that's what they should have had on Next Generation. Yep. But Gene Roddenberry was so full of himself that he wanted to use Wesley Crusher as a fan fiction himself into the series. Because it's Eugene Wesley Roddenberry. That was supposed to be his little avatar. And of course, he's supposed to be smarter than everybody else and save the day. And that's what ruined that character.
Yeah, because I think Wesley Crusher was annoying overall.
So you want to talk about that character who was essentially called Mary Sue, who basically defined that character and defined that Star Trek fan fiction, but in many ways Wesley is a Gary stew. So
True.
that's basically that's basically what we're getting at here with this.
And real quick, I do want to say hello to Pops and Old Man. And yes, TKO, I know you're backstage. I'm gonna let you win, but I'm deciding what video to play to let you win. You
just
can't
want to
have
say real quick.
Anonymous theme. No, that's his.
But
DDOD, it's
real quick,
basically,
I want to
Gary
say
stew.
that the one captain that had the hardest time and came through it all was Janeway. She had no help, no support, and she's in an entire different quadrant. What that lady did, and yes, she broke some rules because she had to. I'll put her up there as number 3. I would even dare put her up there with Kirk, tied with Kirk, because of one thing. If she didn't lead that crew, they would be dead.
Yeah,
Just cock.
He said, "Today is a good day to die."
And welcome, TKO.
I must disagree with you. Janeway had the most plot armor of any captain in Starfleet history. In her situation, she should have been forced to do so many things that violated Federation charter just for the survival of that crew. That ship was in pristine condition. How many times did they get shot up? In the next episode, that ship was in perfect condition. The plot armor is strong with that one. Very
give him
strong.
the buzzer. Give him the buzzer for Phil and I.
Yeah, buzzer.
All right. And that's from the panelists.
Oh my
request.
God, the plot armor.
Cisco.
Maybe
the
real quick.
Voyager was stronger. That's all I can say.
Cisco with Federation backup had to make a literally, truly fucked up choice for the survival of everyone. Name me a fucked up choice Jamie had to do. She could have easily traded replicators.
Tuvix was a fucked up choice.
No, that's
no, it was fucked up. With what happened to Tuvix.
Oh,
the year of hell.
Affected what? The year it was a race practically. And what did she really do when she was in the void? Even she could have used Voyager. She like in reality, it's your crew or everyone else. She put all her situations were like handheld because the situation she was put in should have been a lot worse. She should have had to be like, "Yo, we got to
wait
take
a
their
minute,
food."
wait a minute. Who held her?
The writers when they were in the void. Jay was
But
like,
they
let's form a little. In reality, they would have tried. They would have been eating each other alive. Voyager was so idealized and like kid gloved.
All right, I'm gonna shoot you out the torpedo.
Well, real quick, I'm gonna welcome Cash
What the hell
Money.
are you talking about? Oh, my guidance counselor says that certain words perpetuate this sexist worldview that could trigger. Quiet! From now on, you won't listen to your guidance counselor. You're going to listen to me. Is that understood? Yeah, Sensei.
Are you gonna take that cash?
No, I'm not. You sneaky bastard, Mike. with your nonsense. We will have pistols at dawn. I promise you.
Oh,
all right. I know somebody's watching. So, Mike, you've already gone past the 10-minute mark. You've already gone past the rule. You said, like I said, this is the first one. We're just gonna flesh it out. But you know what? You want pistols at dawn, Cash? You want pistols at dawn?
You know.
Yes, we want it live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wretched slugs. Don't any of you have the guts to play for blood? I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
Huckleberry might get you, Finn.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Now, just to go off a little bit, do you know what
I love it.
You know what the meaning of huckleberry is?
A huckle with
huckle,
a berry?
No, the huckle is what you hold on, what they were calling you hold on to on the coffin, and then you bury. So I'm going to be your huckleberry. It's not huckleberry.
That's true. That is what Baron just said is true.
All right, Baron.
It's a Paul Bear.
The more you know. Ding, 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 ding.
Yep.
Ding,
Da,
ding,
da,
ding.
da, da.
That's very cool, though.
Okay, Mike.
Great movie.
If you put the most divisive top 10 list on, how do you expect us to keep the rules?
I know.
Were there rules? I came in late. I didn't know there were rules.
Yeah, I came in late too.
just trying to do a 2-hour edition of Pop Talk. If we go a little bit over 2 hours, that's fine. But I don't want to go to the 3 hours.
So
We're at
back
50,
to that.
we're at
If we go too far, then we just sacrifice chaos to the gods, right? The gods.
All in favor?
My deck is ready.
Can I cheat like a Democrat and vote twice?
Come on. Let's keep politics out of this. Let's keep politics out of this.
Bing bong.
I think you need to bleep Phil.
I've been for that for a long time.
Y'all? Okay.
I can buzz, or I can hit the censor button.
Oh man.
Your choice.
Would you
I wish
you do it?
I wish I had one of those. I could use it for myself.
Oh man, that's too funny.
Janeway.
Look, an hour in and we still haven't gotten finished.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know.
What's today's mission objective?
You failed the Kobayashi YouTube Maru.
Like I said, this was the first one, and we will work it out.
Pacific, what is going on? How is your justicing going?
What we need at this point is we need the William Dafoe clip of Green Goblin. You know how much I sacrificed. That's what we need.
You know, we're giving Mike a stroke. Let's be nice to him here.
Thank you, Baron. Thank you.
Feeling my lifelong friends, or you will face my wrath.
Well, you know, if you guys want to come after me, well, I'm going to play this clip.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your life so recklessly?
Yes, I
No!
know. Prime.
Optimus Prime, no!
One shall stand, all shall fall before me.
Oh my God! Please don't mention what I think. But right now it's Mike 0 panelist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's tonight's box scores. Mike at PACIFIC414 flat 0, panelist 6.
No, don't worry. If you guys destroy me, I'll just come back stronger than ever. And...
Disrupts my coronation. Here's a hint. Will anyone else attempt to fill his shoes?
This is why you don't piss off Spock.
And that is the main reason why I played it, because Leonard Nimoy was the voice of Galvatron in the movie, and at that tender age of 7, going into 8,
he was good in the live action one too. So he's a voice. He was good in 3 as well.
If you get destroyed, Mike, we're not shooting you on a Genesis project. Genesis Forbidden is.
So, okay, I'm going to throw in my 2 cents as far as how I would rank the captains. And these two, honestly, they're tied in all honesty to me. Cisco and Kirk. Then I would go with Archer. Then I would go with Janeway. Then I would go with Picard.
I can agree with Picard last, but there's some people that will freak
I agree
out.
with your list as well, Pacific. I exactly agree with your list, except for Archer and Kirk are interchangeable because, I don't know. Archer and Kirk both seem to have the exact same problems. Cisco had a unique set of problems, like I'm going to an outpost. It is stationary. I have multiple different cultures that I have to try to get to interact, and I don't even really want to be here. So I go with that.
Well, the one thing about Archer is that there's no Starfleet. He doesn't have a prime directive. He is able to be a little bit freer than the other captains because he's learning as he's going along in the series. And even through the series, they start going, we should have something that that guides us in that way. Hinting at the prime directive. And Archer did stupid things. He really did. Mm-hmm. But again, he was this is a new venture for humans. They're bound to F up left and right.
But he was stupid until season 3. Enterprise was hard for me to get through. I could not stand the first 2 seasons. When it got to the 3rd one, I'm like, yeah.
That temporal Cold War was bold.
It was
Yeah.
it was good. I just haven't watched Enterprise, but the thing I like about Scott Bakula is he just commands shows. Whatever
Yeah.
show he's in, the man is a leader. So
Oh
I
boy.
respect that.
And input. You say that soundboard may be too much power for me. Wrong answer.
England has a new king, and so does this channel. And the king is Mike. Long live the king.
And you'll get my McDonald's coupon as promised.
Oh my gosh.
What? I thought.
No, Phil. When it comes to that McDonald's coupon,
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Well, he's a king. He should be getting a Burger King coupon.
Yeah, it's the same Famology channel, Phil. Sorry.
Good point, Jet.
I'm surprised you
So-
didn't kick out Jet for that.
don't make me do it. Don't make me do it.
You will.
Don't make me. Don't make me.
I mean,
Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy! If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try.
you will try. That's right.
Like the Jedi's didn't have absolutes. What a bunch.
But Mike, remember what happened
So
what happened to
awesome.
Anakin?
Oh,
well, he said.
I remember. And
You know what happened? His arrogance got the best of him. He's like,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan said, "I have the high ground." Well, he did.
Well, take a look at this panel. Who's got the high ground here? He's on top.
Where should Mike be on the bottom?
Well,
Fine,
sword fighting,
fine.
that actual position he was in was actually just advantageous. Anyone who actually knows sword fighting would like, I go, ah!
Fine.
Oh my
I'm switching up
gosh.
the light up here.
Chaos.
Whoa.
We
Huh?
told
What?
you
Hey, no.
before, man. We told you before. We're gonna shoot you to an island. You ever watch that anime Batum, where the people kill each other?
Please, you shoot me to an island. In under 2 weeks, I'm going to conquer the entire thing, and you should all bow before
Are
the
you
Chaos
sure?
Empire.
You know what? Maybe. I
I'm
don't know.
trying to defend you, Mike.
I will become King Negronitis and form my own legions.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Mistakes were made. Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I see a lot of mistakes have been made.
You will provide
So-
me your fried chicken, or you shall die where you stand.
Going over this list once again, coming in at number 1 is DS9. At number 2 is the original series. At number 3 is the Next Generation. At number 4, for some unknown, stupid, dumb, double dumbass on you reason,
Boo hiss.
Strange New Worlds.
Boo hiss.
And coming
What's a
in at
Strange
number
New World?
5, it's the show we don't talk about.
Oh, I
Gutter
didn't know that was
decks.
a thing.
I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
What are you smoking, people?
I don't. I just know this is Yahoo, and well, Yahoo.
Well,
This is what
notice-
happens when you hire somebody
Lower
that's not a
decks
Star
rank
Trek fan.
higher than Voyager.
And
I'm done. I'm
you
already
drop.
done.
Yes, and that's why Janeway has this look.
Yeah.
Mr.
I'm
Kim,
already
are you
done.
sure?
Nope, I'm
Yes,
done.
ma'am.
I'm done.
I
Well,
can't. Yeah.
notice that Gutter Dex came in on 2020, so it's part of the coof.
Oh, I'm done.
I see.
Nope.
All right, well, whatever.
And then
But you guys,
Discovery.
you know how this goes with these lists. Like, we can argue gaming lists, this and that. I've seen some lists even from IGN, and I go, "What in the fuck did I just read?" And it's bad.
They're based.
So-
That's plain and
Mhm.
simple. They're just based.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or because
Lower
they're basically
decks
subject to
and Strange
perjury,
New
aka
Worlds
meaning
rank
people buy
higher.
reviews.
If you
Then-
looked
Yes.
at these people in the face and say, "Do you really believe this?" and they say they do, then you probably just walk away. But no, I'm just kidding. But maybe it's not
No,
that
well,
bad.
given to
No,
me,
you're
I
right.
would just walk up. If I saw somebody like, oh wait, I forgot Greg Miller doesn't work for them anymore. He used to.
Oh man,
but
yes,
he's still
yes.
he's
He's
like-
changed
Cash.
so much,
I
Jet.
agree, Cash.
So much, man.
Oh,
Hey,
I
Cletus?
already know that from the EA press conference. He asked the kid a
Mhm.
question and he just told the kid to
Hold
go
the
away
handle.
when she
You
just
hold
when
the
she
handle.
didn't have a good answer.
Well, the one
he-
thing
he's
is
woke.
they don't.
Anyways,
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Well, the one thing they don't do is they don't really analyze. They just go off. with feelings.
Right.
And-
Feelings, exactly. Yes.
Right. It's like, oh, I like this, but the thing is,
Right.
it doesn't have watchability.
Why do you like
No.
this? Why don't you like this? Oh well,
Mhm.
I just like. What is the reason you don't like this person, or the reason you don't like this movie, or do like this movie? Oh, I just like it. I mean, that's an answer, but can you elaborate a little
yeah,
bit? No?
exactly.
It checks
That's
some boxes, so I have to agree with it.
It has Star Trek in the name,
Yeah.
so it's got to be good.
Excuse me,
It's
but
starting in
why don't you
brave.
spread your legs for me so I can firmly kick you in your groin?
Well, I'm being facetious. See,
Yeah.
that's their attitude. It's
Oh, I
got the
know.
name in it, so it's got to be good.
Are you starting in brave?
Yeah, you
I-
also
I don't- I don't know.
grip my fist.
Maybe.
Hello, Whoopa Troopa and Leah Rose.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was just gonna hold on. Okay, I'm playing it. All hail Emperor Whoopa.
Whoopa, whoopa.
How does things go in Whoopastania?
Welcome, Whoopa, my master. What are your commands?
Whoopa, whoopa.
So they have Star Trek Prodigy at number 8.
What
I would
even
rank
is that?
Enterprise higher than Prodigy. I would rank it higher than Discovery.
I think, Mike, and we've talked before about this, I think
Yeah.
Enterprise overall is a good show. I think Archer is a strong captain, and I don't think it's trash. I think it's a good show. I don't think it's the most amazing Star Trek show ever, but I think it was
like
a good
it.
show.
Overall, yeah, it was good. Hello, Leah.
And I do want to acknowledge Leia Rose. How are you doing, Leia?
Oh, Her Majesty the Queen.
Hello, my brother Wumpa. And justice for the outfielders.
We don't have an execute order 69, Whoopa. Not tonight.
I don't have that clip yet. Dude. 69, dude.
Well, I guess we all know what that means. Gross.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next article. And let's go ahead and talk about this article from Hollywood Reporter.
3 hours later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do have a soundbite from SpongeBob because I thought it would be appropriate. Let me just find it.
Yes. There's going to be a new SpongeBob game coming out. Looks actually fun.
2 hours later.
Mike, I thought you said this would be a 2-hour program. Okay, well, not on this night.
Liar! No, I'm just kidding.
Liar!
I
call shenanigans. I'm calling shenanigans.
He promised us 2 hours, and it goes over 2 hours. This is outrageous. This is unfair.
Can we?
3 hour tour. 3
It
hours.
starts 2 hours started when Cash Money arrived. So we're on time.
How dare you, Phil McCracken? You go and you get no coupons, none.
I didn't know Greta Thunberg was here.
How dare you? Meanwhile,
Okay.
I'll get on my jet and fly away. That burns more gas and fossil fuel.
Yeah, Greta clutching her Star Trek 5 purse.
Look, I feel with this, just saying this, that Elon Musk is somehow going to come out on top on this deal. I really believe he will. They'll try to put him in a corner, and then they're still going to lose. I just have this feeling, because if he gets Twitter, that's a good thing for everybody. I don't care what anybody says, because Twitter might change for the better.
Twitter will
Yeah,
have
but
look at
he
CNN.
has every right. Well, I'll wait to after, but yeah, he has every right. He's doing what he's doing. any company or person was buying it would have done the same thing and do the same thing he's doing.
And Judge Sparks, because you asked for it, I'm going to go ahead and play.
You will be silent.
Too late, Pacific. Everyone was going to say that that's the perfect time to use it.
You know what? We got to let things slide sometimes.
All right, the floor is yours, Mike. Go nuts.
Okay, so this article comes from The Hollywood Reporter, and the headline reads as follows. Twitter shareholders approve sale of Elon to Elon Musk, leaving lawsuit as final hurdle for the deal. The vote in favor was expected, but is important as it is the final pro forma hurdle to closing the sale to the Tesla mogul, with regulators having already signed off on the deal. It says in a special meeting of shareholders Tuesday, holders of Twitter stock voted to approve the company's sale to Tesla CEO Elon Musk for $54.20 per share. The vote in favor was expected, but is important as it is the final pro forma hurdle to closing the sale to Musk, with regulators having already signed off on the deal. Now the only thing standing in the way of closing is Musk's lawsuit, with a trial date tentatively set for next month. And it says, of course, Musk's lawsuit is no small obstacle. The billionaire is looking to have the $44 billion deal unwound, while Twitter wants to force him to close. While Musk initially based the suit on Twitter's public claims about bots, it has since expanded following the disclosures of Twitter whistleblower Peter Zatko, who was Twitter's previous head of security. So, how much you guys want to bet that they settle for a cheaper deal out of court?
Cheaper deal out of court.
They have no choice.
Mm-hmm.
When he did his review, look, all companies, when another company buys them out, they have a little period of time, and they normally do a review to see if everything's up to par. And he found out that Twitter was cooking the books.
Yep.
Their stocks were not worth
prime rib.
$54. He practically found out they're probably worth about $24. First of all, that's a federal crime.
Yep.
That is a crime. So he said, I'm neglecting the deal because, hey, you cooked your books. If he assumed that, then he's going to be the one assuming the responsibility for them cooking the books.
Well, the one thing he's been doing was he has pulled back the curtain to show the wizard, you might say. And, we find out that a couple of people in the political field, one has, for their account, have about 42 bots, and the other one has over 50 bots to boost up, their numbers to show how popular they are, which they're not. They don't have that many. And, that in and by itself is, again, in the area of cooking the books, because you're making things look more popular. It has, you're telling people, hey, look at all these people, and you can get revenue because there's obviously ads and stuff like that.
Well, and all
Elon
the copy pasted responses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And he's taken them to what he's this doing it has really exposed everything, and I think it's people nervous. I mean, I'm sure you got it with YouTube with all the bots. We know they're out there.
Yeah,
and same thing with
Facebook. Them
Facebook.
Here on YouTube. And Baron, how many times have you gotten a follower on Twitter and that person has no followers?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, some people are worried. Other people, such as ourselves, are ready to grab popcorn and a beer.
Yeah.
That's really how it is. I mean, Elon Musk, he can be a troll, but it's easy to troll Twitter or any of these platforms. It just is. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're rich, you're not rich, it doesn't matter. It's easy to troll, and it's easy to make fun of a lot of these, a lot of the nonsense that goes on. Things that are trending usually, like, why is this trending? Why are people obsessed with this person so much, or this article or this situation? And they're usually wrong about the situation anyways. That's what I've noticed with Twitter.
Well, don't think the people are actually in charge of what's trending in Twitter. Come on now. You don't think we The people have been control of that deal, you know.
Well, the one thing to remember about Elon Musk, he doesn't have to be a good guy. He's a business guy. You don't have. There's nothing. What he's doing. That's you don't perceive him as a good guy. I can agree with you, but being a businessman doesn't mean you have to be a nice guy. And most of the time means you're not.
He's going to do what's best for the bottom line.
There you go.
Right. What I have
And
is
he's not doing anything that any other corporation that buys another business did. He offered some money. He had his people review top to bottom. Remember, he had to fight them because Twitter didn't even want to show him the books. And then once he was able to look at the books and find out there's discrepancies, that's when he threw his hands up. Now, other people can say, well, he has some money and ain't no big deal. Buy it, take it over, be done with it. It doesn't work that way with the government. Because now the government, if there's something wrong with cooking the books and he buys it and doesn't say anything or do anything, he's accepting the responsibility. Mm-hmm. So he's got to protect himself 100%. I would let the government look at it, and then after it's said and done, if he has to buy it for $25 a share, so be it.
I don't think it was his plan to buy it in the first place, because you can look at his past tweets. He knew there was some funny business going on. Mm-hmm. And the only way you're going to get access to that funny business is to pull this I want to buy it stuff. And then he had two options. After the deal going through and him being legally allowed to look through all the books, if everything was gravy, then yeah, I'm going to buy it. And then I'm going to, put in my, my thoughts to make it more lucrative. And if A, he was correct on his assumptions that it was bullshit, then B, he gets to he gets to pretty much tear it down, expose it, tear it down, and back out. I believe he's participating. He decided to become a general in the info wars, is what I think this whole thing is about. Because he literally has the amount of money and influence where he could have started his own thing. He targeted Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Elon knows. One, I do truly believe he believes in free speech. Mm-hmm. I do believe that. And I think he also knows because people have tried doing their version of Twitters and they haven't been successful because the only way you can do it is going and slaying the head of the Hydra and take control and open the reins. And obviously he knows that there's money involved in this. He's doing this all as a business person, but he's also going with a true passion that he wants to have a true forum of people talking, even if it's something that you don't agree with and it makes you uncomfortable.
So, Baron, I got some Sun Tzu stuff to you right now. You're correct. There are a couple of ways that you could attack, we'll say, this particular opponent. We know Trump has started his True Social, and Trump just has that presence that allowed him to produce True Social, which is doing, pretty, okay, it's doing decent. Now, Elon Musk, he doesn't quite have, we'll say, the gravitas that Trump has. So if you want to impact something, what way can you impact something? Yes, Elon Musk could have opened up his own, social media, but just like you said, it probably would have fell by the wayside. It wouldn't have made much of an impact on, say, the political situation. But let me use my money and buy the opponent and then destroy the opponent from within. Exactly. I believe that's the move he pulled. I believe that's the move he had planned the entire time. It's the only one that makes sense. And me just some, scrub on the internet I'm like, yeah, he's way more in tune than I am. So if I thought that would be a great idea, he's already 4 or 5 steps ahead of that. And that's what his plan was. I bet he never actually planned on buying it. He planned on using his power and influence to gain access to the shit to expose it. And once they're exposed, there's only a couple of options they're going to have. And none of them end good. Because if they try to force him to buy it, it's like he's still going to have the evidence that they committed perjury and fraud. It's a lose-lose for them. So I don't know what their end game. It doesn't make any sense. Like either way, they lose.
Exactly. And what will be the repercussions to the other platforms? We all know
Zuckerberg. A ripple effect.
Yeah, we all know the crookedness in with Zuckerberg. We know that he's slimy and he's filthy.
Not only
we have
that,
enough-
he literally calls the people who use his platform, quote unquote, dumb fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, and he's, let's face it, he's not that smart. He really isn't. He just happened to be in the right place at the right time and stole it from somebody else. You know,
I don't
whatever.
think he's actually in charge. I think he's like a
You know,
puppet. Yeah,
I
go ahead.
think he did something to Tom from MySpace, and then something happened. I'm just kidding.
Are you?
I personally think he did wanted to buy it. For whatever reasons he wanted to buy it, that's his business. If he had the money to buy it, so be it. To go the route like Fox. We all know Fox. Fox didn't have 30 years, 40 years ago, had their own stations. What Fox did was, let me go create a whole new stations under the Fox banner. And what did they do? Agree to partnership with a bunch of UHF stations to create Fox. And it worked. Sometimes it doesn't work. So buying a name product, and hopefully in his mind, he thought if he got a hold of it, he can improve it. More power to him. Personally, I don't do Twitter. But again, any corporation, any businessman, when you buy a business, the first thing within the first couple weeks, their people are allowed to go through the books. And any discrepancies they find, that's a deal breaker right there. So if he didn't find anything, he would have bought it. And if he tried to back out of it and say, yeah, I'm paying too much, maybe I should pay $10 less, but there was nothing there, no evidence of any wrongdoing, then he's at fault. But he did find it. That was the thing. And that's what made what's more important is when that case, anybody has to step aside and say, no, I can't go through with this purchase. Because again, if he went through it and the stockholders or the shareholders say, oh, it's not worth $50 a share, it's only worth $20 a share, he's still responsible. As soon as he takes ownership, he is responsible. So he's doing the smart thing and saying, no, I'm not touching this, and probably want to probe in there with the federals to look into it before he goes and agrees to anything.
Okay, Phil, riddle me this.
Let's also put it this way too. You know, you're going to buy a used car. You're not just going to buy it straight up. You're going to look into its accident history to see if it's been in any floods. Because that is one thing that they do after a hurricane is they do sell cars that have been flooded with a flooded engine. So you got to watch out for your bottom line.
So, Phil, I have a question. Riddle me this. So let's break down the multiple levels of holy crappery that's going on right now. Now, as you were stating, yes, if Elon Musk buys this giant dumpster filled with worms and other various forms of disease-transmitting organisms, he would be stuck holding the bill.
Are you talking about scum and villainy?
Yes, I am. Years ago, Elon Musk was tweeting that he believes that most of these accounts are like bots or whatever. He already tweeted that. So why would you already going, hey, Bob over here has an orchard, an apple orchard, and he's selling apples, and there's not a lot of production. I believe maybe 50 or 60% of his apple field is contained rotten apples. Why would you want to buy that?
First of all,
you wouldn't want to buy that.
He never set the price of what they said they were worth. They said they were worth X amount of dollars.
Okay, as it's been established, he's a supporter of free speech. Okay,
well,
he believes Twitter is one part
political free speech or not, or he can be the king of Saudi Arabia. Anybody buying a business in the United States, you have the right. There's a grace period before the purchase goes through. Do you know why there's a grace period?
So you can check and make sure everything's
not only legit. That, everything has to be pre-approved. Do you know where they go to get pre-approved?
They go to a bank.
I'll tell you where do you go to get
a bank to get pre-approved.
It goes to a chancellery court. Do you know where the chancellery court for the United States is?
No,
you don't. Okay, it's in Delaware. It's controlled by Delaware. It's even on YouTube. You can look it up. It's called the $6 billion loophole. All businesses are headquartered here in 2 buildings, well, actually 3, and their job is to control them. So, like, for example, Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter. The final say goes to the Chancellery Court, not the Supreme Court, not the federal government. It goes to the Chancellery Court in Delaware, and they determine if the sale goes through or not. And if there's any shenanigans, anything, let's just say their stocks was $5 off to get the price when he went there to buy it, that is still fraud.
Yeah, see, I 100%, I do not believe that Elon Musk ever had the actual intention of buying Twitter. I believe that Elon Musk, based off of his Twitter, of his post tweets and his post statements, believed that Twitter was a corrupt organization that was corrupt to the core. And I believe that this was all a ruse to force the information out to the public. Because if you know everything he stated, he believed that Twitter was cancer. Why would you want to buy cancer? If you bought cancer and changed it, it would literally, as you said, have to be gutted and destroyed. It would not be profitable for half a decade or more. I believe the only reason he did this was to force them to let him look at their books, expose the shit, and bring them down. Because if he wanted to
you're taking on a gamble there, because if it's
not a gamble,
that they were in the right.
Okay, hold on. Let's keep this civil.
Yes.
No, it's literally, I'm just saying, if he was in the right, if the corporation was in the right,
You've got the buzzer.
Look at the moves.
I do have the buzzer.
Right,
he's got the clicker. Don't make him use it.
You would have to buy it.
Let's go over the moves he made. Let's go over the exact moves he made. The first move he made was buying. What was it? 9 or 10% of Twitter, right?
Correct.
Now that was a safe bet. Boom. That got everyone talking, everyone tripping. That's got then Twitter offering him a seat on the board under the condition he can't buy more than, what was it, 25% or something, whatever.
14%.
14%, yeah. He goes, nope. Then he says, I want to buy the whole thing. The next move he made, they denied it. The next move he made was going around the board and going directly to the board members. These was a sequence of very smart moves that I saw. I watched. I go, oh, I know. He's just going to expose them and walk off. Then, after the board said yes, the investors told the board, "You are going to sell, or we are going to start, sue you for not going against the best interests of the company." Then they go, "Fine, we're going to do that." They start trying to purge files, fire people, do all kinds of stuff. Try to hide the cooking of their books. Certain whistleblowers start feeding Elon Musk some information. Elon goes, sweet. Okay, this isn't worth that much. You said 5% that was bots. We're looking at like 25% or higher. I believe this was all a very calculated sequence of events that was planned to take the platform down some pegs or destroy it outright. I do not think in any way, shape, or form this man willingly wanted to buy cancer. Literally a cancerous product. Its stock prices were already going down. People were losing faith in Twitter and Facebook. Even Facebook's numbers are going down.
People lost faith in Twitter long ago.
Exactly. And especially with the results of past elections and other things, this was his plan to deal a blow to them and elevate free speech. Because there's no way any man is smart as him with the business decisions he's been able to go, look at this sinking ship. Hey, Titanic. This is like him buying the Titanic after it hit the iceberg. He can be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to buy the Titanic. And then, let me go through your logs and see what the captain did. Oh, see? This company was, I believe, 100%, but 98%. I don't believe he would look at this sinking ship and go, oh, I'm going to buy that. He'd be in debt for like half a decade at least, or more, maybe even up to a decade, to try to rebuild the brand's reputation. That is not a good business proposal. He'd be better off taking whatever money he was going to invest in Twitter, fighting Twitter, and just going, hey, Trump, let me buy into what you're doing. Let me attach my clout with your clout.
But he doesn't want to partner with Trump.
I know.
don't think he
Depending
don't
on
want to
if he's
with
trying to make
anyone.
money, that's what he would do. I
But-
think this is a war against censorship.
Well, he can do his war without having to buy it. Okay.
Yeah,
To
he
go
doesn't
that
have-
route, like I said,
You're
taking
correct,
the
Bill.
with his
You're
money.
100% correct. He
taking-
can do the
wait a
war
minute, but
without
he-
buying it. But
here
he
it
set
is.
up
Well,
the deal, and then once he gets the
Wait.
information,
Okay,
he can
okay,
pull out.
okay. One at a time. One at a time.
Here's the thing. Okay.
Perfect.
If I'm a millionaire or billionaire, and I want to buy General Motors.
Mhm.
Okay. Regardless of what my intentions are, first of all, whatever Elon Musk wants to do or thinks he can do, he has to go to the federal government. That's all controlled by that. Anything running or doing, look, he can't do an investigation. The only thing he had the right to do after, quote unquote, putting the money out there was to look at the books, which remember, they didn't want him to look in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay,
Now,
wait a
if
minute,
there's
wait a
any
minute, wait a minute.
fraudulent
Go
going
ahead,
on-
Gap. Go ahead, Gap.
Wait a minute. So are you saying, Phil, that the government's gonna try to take money down?
What was that? Repeat that.
I said,
You
are
broke
you
up a little
thinking
bit, Gap.
that the government is? Are you saying that the government is going to try to take Musk down? Is that your
No.
line of
That's
thought?
not what I'm saying. Again, there's procedures and rules in place. And first of all, it
Antitrust
isn't just the
laws.
federal government. The final say goes to the Chancellery Court. And the Chancellery Court's going to decide if it goes all the way through, what is the stock actually worth? If it's worth $30, then that's what Elon Musk has to pay. $30 a share. If
So-
they say it's $50,
Yeah, we got
then
that. You're on a repeat loop.
yeah,
Wait,
but
now,
sometimes you have to repeat it.
I think that you said the trial's coming up. I kind of go with DDoD. I think he's gonna explode. He's gonna blow up Twitter, and the best time to do it is right before the
Yep.
the election. Right before the election, Twitter's gonna blow up and tank. And then what is the government going to be able to massage them behind the scenes? You know, the government's already massaged Facebook, and dumbass admitted it. You know, yeah, the FBI came and asked me to do this.
So,
you know, I side with DDoD.
In place.
Allow me
That's
to
our October 22 surprise.
So use General Motors, correct? Right. So we'll go ahead. Let's stick with what you said about General Motors. Let's say we have General Motors, and General Motors stock is worth $30, right? People have confidence in General Motors, but you know what? I have a feeling that General Motors is not on the up and up. I don't believe that all the labor and all the people working for General Motors is legal. I have a feeling that General Motors is outsourcing a lot of the labor in the building of parts to, say, this unknown country that's using slave labor to build their parts. Now, how am I going to get definitive evidence on this particular crime or set of crimes that are happening? I'm a mega fucking billionaire. I'm going to say, I'm going to buy General Motors. I'm going to offer you, General Motors, $50 a share. But the stock price of General Motors is $30 because of the confidence in General Motors as a legit business. General Motors, of course, is going to freak the fuck out because, like, wait, you're not into the foreign, slavery overseas thing. Shit. Now, once I get that information proving that 45% of the parts that are claimed to be made in America are being made in some unknown country in Africa during, via slavery, everyone's confidence in that motherfucking company is going to drop. And you damn sure they're not going to be worth $30, $50, not even going to be worth $30. That's going to drop down to $10 once the crimes are exposed. You're going to take me to court, and if you're going to take me to court, General Motors, you're going to have to expose your books to the entire world.
Okay, well let me end this. I think he's gonna blow up Twitter.
Yep.
And that's gonna be it. I mean, he's not a stupid man. by any means. He's playing 3D business chess.
He's playing 6D business chess.
Yeah, and just like DDOD said, why would you want to buy Cancer? Because it was already going downhill anyway. Stock only went up when the words Elon Musk was attached. It jumped back up. So
here's another thing
and
to remember.
he's making money.
There's nothing saying he's not obligated to buy.
He's going to get out. Oh, that's the point I was going to put to end, this to go to the next.
If it goes to court in Chancellery Court here, and the argument is he not going to buy it or not going to buy it? The argument was, what is the price? And once that price is set,
but that's not what he said. That's not what.
That doesn't matter what he thinks. That's the
Mark.
He already that's the law.
We need to move on. We need to move on to the next article. So let's just end it here. He's gonna win. They're dirty, and he exposed it. He's gonna win. He's not suing for crap and giggles.
The original deal was, I'm buying this company based off of only 5% of the being bots. If it's been proven it's 25% or over, that is already a violation of the original deal. I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, so that's really where because I know Mike wants to get on to the next article, don't you, Mike?
Yes, I do. That's why I rang the buzzer.
And I simply say that's a good thing. Elon should own Twitter because it'd be a much better platform if he's running it. That's all I got to say on it.
I mean, agree, but I think if it happens, it'll just collapse.
It was already going down. So if you destroy it and tank it, it's already was on its way to hitting the iceberg. Well, it's gonna hit the iceberg and it's gonna sink. Yeah, it's gonna sink. It's slowly sinking now. I think he's gonna win his lawsuit. And, I don't think he really wants Twitter. I just think he wanted to, he had enough money to make a big ass point. And boy, did he. And he exposed a whole lot of crap. So, if I have multi billions, and I believed in free speech, I might, go buy something to blow it up and tank it, but I don't think he really wanted to sue, but I just think that's what's going to happen. He's going to win the lawsuit, unless there's shenanigans, because we don't need Twitter influencing the sheep that they still have a control over for the next election or anything, because we don't need that. Because, like I heard on the news today, if there's shenanigans this time in the midterms, all hell is going to break loose because they keep on thinking that people are stupid. Yes, they have enough sheep that they can lead to feed, like leading the horse to water. They got plenty of those, but they got underestimate the other stuff, and they keep on thinking there's more sheep than there are really people who are aware. So I think, if there's shenanigans again, kaboom, watch out. We already got enough issues going on inside our country right now. We don't need anything else. And I think that we all are smart enough. A whole majority are smart enough to understand wag the dog. When you throw the bone over there, people are starting to looking the other way. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I saw that. Okay, go do your little money laundering and your little war. But, look what we're really trying to do to you, just like Twitter, So, but anyway, so what's our next article, Mike?
Our next article is from Bounty in the Comics, and it's talking about Prime Video being accused of buying praise for the Rings of Power. Now,
the hell you say?
For those of you who know, and for those of you who don't know, I had said several Sundays ago on Pop Talk that I would watch up to 3 episodes of The Rings of Power.
Ooh,
I have done that. I have done that.
How are you alive?
I watched the first 2 episodes back to back after talking about them. And then this past Saturday, I watched the 3rd episode.
Yes, go watch that. He about died in that one.
And I've got to say, the show, it's just not for me. It doesn't draw me in like the Peter Jackson films did.
Pacific, are you doing this podcast from the afterlife?
Oh, trust me, if I was, there would be hell on earth.
I was going to say, I was going to be afraid you're going to say you're the biggest fan of this show. And it's like, now I got to kill you.
No. And
Are you
I
in a
admitted
soul
it during
society?
the live stream because Gap was there. He heard me say this. It's because, I have the Peter Jackson films to look at. And that's what is basically guiding my judgment.
Yeah,
this
that
series
was my,
is not like. Go ahead, Gap. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to interject. I apologize. I was just going to say it's your benchmark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a high bar, and the Peter Jackson films were the high bar, and this series doesn't meet it. Some might say, but you have to give it another episode, give it another chance. No, 3 episodes is my limit.
Right.
And
do it.
Once I've watched 3 episodes, I'm not going to continue on. Now, I did say during Saturday's episode review and live reaction that if I choose to go back at a later date and watch the other 5 episodes, well, that's my choice. But at this point in time, I have no desire to do so.
You would hurt me if you did. Right here.
He about rubbed his beard off. I mean, his mustache and his lower goatee. He about rubbed it off on Saturday stream.
Remember, you said it in the chat during Saturday's live reaction. The thinking Mike pose, the thinking Pacific pose.
Yep, I would say that was one of your best reviews of all 3 episodes, because I'm like just watching you react to it.
I mean,
like,
I've said it before. I said it during the first 2 episodes of Rings of Power. I'm a Cub fan. I can put up with a lot of bullshit. But even this show is trying my patience.
But you did say you did love the music.
Yeah.
There was one brightness in the darkness.
Yeah. The music in the episode and the theme music for the series, it's not bad. I'm not going to say it's at the level of the movies because it's not, but it's not bad. So that's why the last episode got a 2 out of 5, mainly because of the music.
You lowered your score, or you had given it a 2.5.
No, Like, I'm not watching those. Nope, I'm not going to touch it. Any show that, like, when they're interviewed, they're like, "Oh my god, diversity." I'm like, "Okay, I'm black, and I'm done with your diversity bullshit. I want a story that's good. I don't care. I don't give a shit what's between their legs, what skin color they are. I want them to be able to act decently and tell me a good story and help me escape from the horrible, horrible crap that's going on in the real world today." That's what I want.
Well, what I expect for something like the Rings of Power to be respectful and following the tradition of J.R.R. Tolkien, which they made it known they have disdain for, and they don't know anything about Lord of the Rings.
But remember, they only have the appendices. That's it.
Yeah, they have more than just appendices.
And they don't have talent. They don't have talented writers to sew fabric of storytelling.
No, they don't. The dialogue is terrible.
Horrible.
But
Galadriel
had material that is a KK Rowling's, or whatever you want to call her name, from Star Wars, when she's trashed all the EU books. There was plenty there.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yes, thank you. There was plenty there. And on top of that, what was not finished by Tolkien, his son, Christopher Tolkien, filled in the blanks to the best of his ability. Because there's a lot of things that no one knew that never got put in that Tolkien kept to himself. So his son filled in the blanks, which everybody approved.
He didn't keep it to himself. There's volumes of books.
Yeah, there's still the things where he put his thoughts on everything he wrote and everything. But Christopher Tolkien did fill in a lot of the blanks. He did go back and finish the unfinished tales. He did.
Well, he did like the editing on that one because a lot of it was already there. The big thing he did for filling in the holes was the Silmarillion because it wasn't
the
quite correct.
yeah.
And the Silmarillion actually was the first book that he started writing on, and then he went to the Hobbit. Then he went to and through that he was still toying with the Silmarillion.
Don't forget, he did the Children of Huron before that, and that's a hard read. That is a hard read because that was pretty much written Old English style.
Well, but yeah, I don't Lord of the Rings is that way.
Yeah, but Children of Huron was a real. If you want first age, and you want to look and read into the first age, it doesn't cover everything in the first age, but the Children of Huron is a very good book.
But can I say, Mike, that on my Amazon account at first, they were every time I went onto the Amazon app or the Prime Video, you could not get away from seeing Rings of Power. And then all of a sudden, only like they took that off for probably 45% of their users. They just took off Rings of Power, and especially those people who left negative reviews, from, because you can do the reviews from the shopping app that end up on Prime Video. So they took, I have no idea that Rings of Power exists on my account because they took it off where I can't see it. And so this leads into your article. I think they're cooking a little bit more than the books.
That's true, because even in the September 4th edition of Pop Talk, I was signed into my account and I would click write a review, and it kept coming up with an error message. And I had seen prior, thanks to watching Pop Culture Minefield with Gary and Keith and Baron, I believe you were on that day.
I may have been,
And Gary's showing his own Amazon account. And
yes, he did.
Showing that, people's reviews are being wiped out. And then people started writing their reviews for the Rings of Power for the Lord of the Rings trilogy movies. And they knocked those out too, because they don't want any bad press. They don't want any bad feedback. Well, guess what, Amazon? You're getting bad feedback because this is a bad product.
Right. You should be learning from it. And it's just like taking away the downvotes on the YouTube, because so many things were getting downvoted because they were horrible.
I'm not all in favor of like Rotten Tomatoes, but when you see it and they've done it and they showed the things on the Ring of Power, how somebody will go in there and there'll be 4 negative views, and they might give them 2 or 3 stars. Then someone comes along and gives it a 5 stars. Then after so long, another person gives it a 5 star. And we can all agree right here and right now, very rarely can you go to an episode of anything and really give it a 5 star. You might be able to say, yeah, that's a good episode, 4 stars. Or even like I would say Mike, because he likes the music, which I can understand, even if he was going to negative vote, but I think he would still give it a star for the music. You see what I'm saying? There's unrealistic out there, and the 5-star approvals for the Rings of Power. That's where you can tell, hey, this ain't just a fan trying to pump up the show. This is somebody, either someone's paying them or for whatever reason wants to approve, the show. Either way, it's wrong. Like I said, there's very few episodes of anything. If you're giving 5 stars, you give max of 4, maybe a 4. Very rarely would you go and say, this is a 5 star. So it was, like I said, I don't put my faith and trust into Rotten Tomatoes, but the stuff going on Rotten Tomatoes, like I was sitting there watching someone else's stream, and I'm not mentioning their name, and I'm seeing it going back and forth, going to 40%, dropping down in the low 30s. All of a sudden going back up to 40%, dropping down back in the low 30s. It doesn't surprise me at all if all these entertainment stuff, baseball or football or anything, has their people behind the scenes to promote it up. You know?
Well, that's just it. I mean, they need to have validation for what they're doing, and this is a major chunk of change that Amazon did. This can really hurt Amazon big time, that they're not getting the reviews, and you can't trust Rotten Tomatoes no more. They're part of, they're not that independent. We can trust you to the end site anymore. They're a bunch of shells. I mean, as someone sat back, like 24/7 and Fat Steven and Vigilante, we all were sitting back saying we trust what people say here on our group of what they have to say about the show. We take that to heart more than we trust any reviewer. It's just like in the old days when you look through the reviews and they gave a movie a bad review. That's the movie you wanted to see because generally that was the good one.
Never forget Sigurd and Hubert put the axe on Star Wars. It wasn't until they got the special edition that they actually changed tune to Star Wars. But remember, when they first 3 movies came out, Siskel and Ebert were action Star Wars.
Well, Ebert was very kind to Return of the Jedi. Well, I remember watching that review. He was very kind to it. He kind of gave it that a thumbs up, but it was, as he was saying, it wasn't as strong as the other films. And I remember watching that review with him. But it was only when Star Wars became, I don't want to say trendy, but respectable. There we go. And the eyes of those that were originally calling it just a fantasy fairy tale BS thing not to watch, because it's silly. That because that they had to sit back and start doing things like reevaluating and making sure they don't have the egg on their face.
Right.
Well, the 2 things that always stuck out to me when it came to Siskel and Ebert, or Siskel and Roper, some people are going to go by that. The thing is, he actually didn't like the first 2 Home Alone movies, but he actually unironically liked the 3rd one, which again, by most fan standards, it's the lesser of the first 3 films.
I want to get us back on Amazon.
Yes.
You can't trust Internet Movie Database either because Amazon owns them. And if you go look at it now, they have
do they? I didn't know that.
They have Rings of Power at a 6.8 as the number 1 thing to watch, and they have House of Dragons, who has a 8 point something, as number 2. So you can't trust Internet Movie Database. You can't trust Box Office Mojo either. The numbers. Mexican Iron Man did a thing with the Rings of Power. He put a bad review and a good review, and of course what happened to the bad review, and then they vanished it from his account where you have to look for Rings of Power to find it. But so that's what I wanted to say. I know you guys are trying to
Gap, the user reviews are what I like to look at on IMDb. Those can be helpful. The actual critic reviews, though, a lot of them, I just feel there's either a love fest there, or they want to hate something, just to hate it because it has some good message in it. We'll say a good message, not a bad message. But the user reviews can be helpful on Internet Movie Database, but even like Metacritic, it's very hard to trust this stuff. But the user reviews, unless they're giving it like a 0, then it's probably worth it, because they bomb this stuff too. Users are like, what did they do to this? Oh, that's it, we're going in.
and I'm sorry to cut you off, Jet Spark and Baron. I'm just trying to keep Mike on track.
Let's give Mike.
I really haven't said too much.
All right,
but
go ahead, Baron. I know you haven't.
The last thing I'm going to sit back and say on that one, you can't necessarily always trust the user reviews too, because you got the bots that go in there for that. You have to actually look at the review, and if it's a cut and paste stuff, then it's bottish, and you got to take that with a grain of salt. When it comes right down to it, it's going to be what we have to do is word of mouth. Word of
Well,
mouth.
if they
Is it really good?
if they misspell a review, I trust that better.
Well, yeah. I mean, if someone actually went in there and eloquently say why they liked or disliked something, that speaks more volume. And especially when they're not doing spoilers, but they have case and points on there. That this was, the direction was this way, that, some of the acting was that way. I mean, if they go into a breakdown, that is much more, because that's not a bot. That's someone actually taking their time, whether it's plus or minus, or even neutral. I like this, but I didn't like that, And those definitely take to heart more than anything else. Just like when I'm looking through Google reviews on places, and it's like someone puts a review in place, 1 star, they suck. Well, okay, that doesn't mean anything. But somebody goes in there and goes through a detail, they had a bad experience, and this is what it was, or they had a good experience. That means a lot more. You can tell that's not a bot, or if it is a bot, it's a pretty smart bot.
I totally agree with you, Baron.
The one thing that bothers me about all this with the Rings of Power, and I'm a Tolkien fan, and when I say Tolkien fan, I don't hate the Peter Jackson movies. I like them, but I'm one of them people who said Peter Jackson did well. Any movie you're going to have creative differences in what the person wrote. That happens. You can't include everybody that they wanted to see in the movie, because then the movie would be forever too long. And, people complain about it. That's fine. My complaint is I say I don't like the Rings of Power, and automatically you're considered, because you said that, the R word. There's my problem right there. You cannot like a movie or a show today without that being thrown like a dime or a penny on the ground.
Right.
I like the new Game of Thrones show, and people will say, well, how can you like that and not like the Lord of the Rings? The creator who created that show included what we see in there. Tolkien didn't do none of this of what you're seeing in the Rings of Power. None of it. And if he didn't do it, it shouldn't be in his. It shouldn't be a Tolkien. And then, like Baron said, they admit to it. They don't want Tolkien's or what Tolkien created. They want to change what Tolkien created, and there's where the line is drawn in the sand.
Right.
Take it for what it is. Personally, that's how I stand. It has nothing to do with diversity or anything. Like I said, I love the new house, the whatever they call it, the house or whatever. That's great.
House of the Dragon.
Thank you. I don't think anybody complained about any of the characters in that.
No, I agree with you.
No, that show's getting praise.
Yeah, because the guy there's the difference. The guy who created that to be open. Tolkien did not. And whatever we might feel, look, I don't want somebody to make a movie of John Henry. I don't know if you know the folklore of John Henry. He was a railroad man, happened to be African American folklore. And he takes on a train, a automated rail laying thing, and he goes against it to prove man can still do the job, and dies. He wins.
John Henry.
Thank you.
Let me tell you about John Henry.
Yep. I don't want that to be changed to a white person or to a red person or to a blue person or green person. John Henry is who John Henry was created.
A very powerful folklore. I mean,
yes.
it's become folklore.
This is what Tolkien tried to create. Folklore. The folklore he was trying to create was for the people of the British Isles. They don't have a lot of folklore. They had was King Arthur. So Tolkien wrote this. Okay, I'm sorry he didn't include it for the Greeks, the Italians, the Chinese, the New Zealanders, or anything. Not to exclude anybody. I'm sorry, he didn't. That wasn't his intent. Maybe if it was today, he might have did it, but he never created it. So if he never created it, shouldn't be a part of it.
Well, I don't think he would have changed it all because, again, he wanted to keep it to an Anglo-Saxon style feel, and you had that feel across across the story, along with the other sagas, whether it's from the Finnish with the Kalevala or the Old Norse sagas, which she was immensely knowledgeable on. And the thing is they could have Tolkien guiding and steering them on this show from the grave with all the notes and everything else that they have available. There's more stuff written that with those books that he had, where you could see the directions and ideas that he had. The one thing is I'm going to bring up the one word everybody gets a little nervous about, the R word. You have to also go with the aspect of his Roman Catholic faith.
Yes.
Because the book is extremely Roman Catholic. So whether you like...
That's true. I'm Catholic, so you're exactly saying it. Right.
Yeah, and I'm a Lutheran. I mean, I'm a Missouri Synod Lutheran, and it's like, no, I'm not going to change it to where it's going to be Luther or the Protestant Revolution. No, it's got to stay within his mindset on that, and you can still do it. The thing is they don't like that, they hate that, and they won't even touch that. And it's like, then you have no business doing this at all.
Totally. I mean, his best friend was the guy who wrote Narnia.
Yeah, C.S. Jack Lewis.
Yeah, and they would debate and everything, and he put a lot of Protestant things in Narnia. You know, but they were best friends. It wasn't like, oh, you're Catholic and you're, like that. But he included what he knew. I mean, when you see Galadriel, you're seeing in Catholicism, I'm seeing the Blessed Virgin. It's hard not to. And there's a lot of things you can pick up in there. But you know what? If Baron never said it and I never said it, the average person is not going to know it.
See, I have a slight disagreement with you on that one. Because, being that the Blessed Virgin Mary is supposed to be pure, remember, Galadriel fell and came back. I see her as the other Mary, Mary the Whore or Mary Magdalene.
Yes.
And that's what I see with Galadriel more than anything else. And then she's given that temptation and she resists it, and now she knows she can go west over sea. So I don't view it as the Virgin Mother. I don't think Tolkien would have done that because, again, she fell from the path, and you can't do that with the Virgin Mary.
Yeah, but she never did. Gotcha.
Right, but you can do that with Mary Magdalene because she was a very powerful person in the Bible, being that she fell, came back, she was cleaning Jesus's feet with her hair, and such. So I think that is the bigger connection in that area.
And there's a bunch of old commentary of Tolkien being. Sorry. I think Mike loves that button.
He does.
But again, like I said, you can read for yourselves, look up for yourselves. There's the differences in there. YouTube has his Tolkien's interviews.
Oh yeah. There's so much stuff out there that Tolkien talked about, whether it's interviews or even his letters. Sit down and read his letters. You can see where he's coming from, and he explains things, which obviously they didn't do.
Although, if I remember correctly, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong on this, the producer we read before didn't read Tolkien. None of his writing.
Yeah. Well, they sat back and said that we don't have anything to go off of. They did the KK thing. We have nothing to go off. We really don't know what he was thinking. Oh, it's there.
And one of the things this article is saying is that Amazon, during that 72-hour period where nobody could make a review, including myself, they changed their review policy to determine who's an actual user and who's an actual bot. That's what they're saying. And it says, we should recognize this one, George the Giant Slayer, George Molo. And it says that Prime Video has been buying praise from the Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings YouTubers. Well, I don't doubt it.
What you're seeing here is payola. This is payola. This is video payola across the board. we'll pay you or give you whatever so you can do this. Promote.
Oh, I was just about to ask. I stepped out for a second. I go, did you guys talk about Amazon buying good reviews? And I walked right into it. Nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, basically, that's what you're looking at. This is a form of payola.
Yeah.
100% across the board.
Exactly.
This is illegal.
And this article also says
Well, I
damning
mean,
evidence comes from YouTuber Hello Future Me, who told his subscribers back in August asking whether he should take sponsorship from Amazon for a video on The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, when it premieres. Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest, this doesn't surprise me in this day and age that these companies are buying positive reviews, positive feedback. I mean, let's go back to Captain Marvel when that came out the theaters.
Guys, this isn't new.
And all the money that Captain Marvel supposedly made. Yet you would see countless videos and countless evidence that they weren't selling those same tickets. You could look at your local theater and see, oh, there's plenty of seats available.
Yeah.
There was a guy that did it on YouTube and took the phone and said it was supposed to be sold out, and there was like only 5 or 6 people. And he's taking his camera phone, and showing the theater, and there's like only 6 people.
Well, Mexican Iron Man even talked about that, where it was supposed to be so full. Walks in, there's nothing, hardly anybody in there.
Well, guys, as you all know, ever since the whole access media thing has been a thing, it's pretty much paid reviews. You want to keep having early access, you better say nice things. That's literally paid reviews as well. So it is what it is.
Well, I mean, there has a history that reviewers and such have been paid off or given little treats along the way. There's no secret about that, but nothing to this level that we have today. Nothing to this level. I mean, you got to remember, and you had the other way around to destroy it. William Hearst, how he was destroyed Citizen Kane to be out there and made sure that they didn't promote and just made sure it was run down, bad reviews, whatever. That giant. So we're looking at William Randolph Hearst here. It's going the other way. We're going to pump everything up instead of and we're going to tear down those that we don't like.
Yep, exactly.
All right. So, that's something that we all pretty much know is going to happen nowadays. Don't trust anything you read. Don't trust anything you hear. Judge it for yourself, which I did for Rings of Power.
Right, and I would take your review and your recommendation far more than anybody out there that's, or anybody on this panel. Be honest with you.
I was gonna make a slight correction. I'm gonna be like, if you don't want to waste your time, or if you don't want to waste, giving these horrible companies that have bastardized our franchises in clicks, then take the opinion of reviewers that you have vetted, that and whose opinion you trust, over seeing it for yourself. Because yes, as we know, seeing it for yourself gives them that one extra click.
Right. And you're also going to get a little bit honest. I mean, like Mike was saying here, he liked the music. It's like it didn't grab him by the 3rd episode. He didn't care, but he liked the music. I mean, that's an honest review right there.
Yeah, but it's like saying, "Hey, that chick is horrible." Yeah, but I liked her face. It's like, but I wouldn't marry it. But I like their face, So,
but the thing is still honesty in there, where someone's sitting back and not just when you have someone just completely tearing down. Sometimes you start wondering about if it's just whatever. A good review is you have to go in there,
give credit where credit's due. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. You have to divorce yourself enough to this was good, but everything else was bad. How many times have we seen something where a lot of the stuff was good, but the execution was horrible?
Since Mike watched it, but everybody else can put their opinion in. If this wasn't Lord of the Rings, but they gave it a different title, I think
I would probably be more invested in it. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
exactly. If one didn't have Lord of the Rings on it, one, it didn't have Lord of the Rings on it, and two, they didn't go, oh my god, diversity, look, black people, I get characters that look like you. Yay, I don't care. If they drop the whole diversity hire bullcrap, drop the whole stealing another IP. If you have a story to tell me the story, and just say, here's a story I want to tell. Do not try to pander to me. Just tell, here's my story.
Mm-hmm.
I think
why the hell did they do a freaking Little Mermaid remake and make Ariel black instead of just doing a freaking live action frog princess? Like, really?
Right.
But I think they could have got a lot more just not using the Lord of the Rings, because let's just be honest. Dragons, elves, dwarves, people, whatever else you want, orgs and everything, isn't only belong to Tolkien. That's pretty much general content out there for anybody to use. I think this show would have been a lot better, and probably would even got even better approval from everybody if it just wasn't Lord of the Rings.
Hold up.
And I do want to say hello to Old Man. Welcome, good sir.
Oh, thank you, guys.
Hey, man, what's up?
Wow, I don't even get that type of. I even get knocked down a few pigs. Wow, I tell you, I know where I rate here.
Okay,
But-
fine. I didn't realize that everybody on this panel was so sensitive.
I am very sensitive.
I didn't say anything, Mike. Don't
I
put
don't
me
get my
in these
answers from
riffraffs.
anymore.
I'm just picking on you, Mike. I'm just
But
picking
it's
on
okay.
you.
Old man, it's good to see the elderly being represented. We always get forgotten.
Hey, I'm older than you, Phil.
Huh?
I'm older than you, Phil.
Are you sure about that?
I'm 53. You're 50.
Okay, you remember. I'm honored. Okay, I'm a young.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're young. You're a pup.
the AARP age, and I'm proud. I got my card.
No wonder this panel is so wise. Everyone's over 40, apparently.
We fart dust.
I keep hearing from Pacific that I'm only 3 years older than him. 3 years is still a difference.
Let's go while we're young.
Okay, that's a good one.
Oh,
well played.
You must have really been something before electricity. I love that movie.
I remember back in the day having to go check my mail and dodge a couple of velociraptors on the way to the mailbox.
How do
those
you
were
know?
good times.
Well, yeah, that was
Hey
fun.
guys, how much did that meteor impact suck?
Oh my goodness, what language?
I lost my favorite dinosaur in that.
I think Mike has another article, so
I
I'll
do.
look it up.
I do. I do.
God,
All right. I'm going to bring it up here shortly.
Uh-oh.
All right.
While he's
Here
bringing
we
it up,
go.
I just want to... Okay.
Go ahead, Baron. Go ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say,
You want to plug? Go ahead and plug.
Oh, I was just going to say, we're talking about the diversity and how they're all beating their chest. The 2000 Dungeons and Dragons movie, you had a black elf in there, and the one of the Wayans brothers was a sidekick. So, I mean, don't give me this BS that you didn't have representation in fantasy.
You know what? I want to know why. Okay, why was there no complaining about the lack of white people in Black Panther?
Yeah.
Like, where was the diversity?
Chaos, you know the answer to that.
I know.
Because nobody gives a damn about these and loss.
Yeah, exactly. I want the next Black Panther. I want to be white. I want it to be a red-headed ginger homie.
No, what I want is Robert Downey Jr. playing the part like he did in Tropic Thunder.
I think we need to continue on, guys.
Let's continue on.
Article up.
Okay. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. You're forgiven. This time. Okay, so this article from comicbook.com is talking about the next Breath of the Wild sequel. And you want to know what the name of the sequel is?
Hold Your Breath of the Wild?
It's called The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
I was hoping it would be like Fatal Wind.
That's not like someone that had one too many Del Tacos.
You got it.
It's going to be released on May 12th of next year. Go ahead, old man.
Wasn't Zelda in Many Lives of Dobie Gillis?
He's showing his age again.
Very
Continue
good.
on, Mike.
That's on you.
I know. Just continue on, Mike.
I know I'm being nasty.
Okay, all right, guys. So,
Please let
you
him
asked.
continue.
You
will
asked
be
for
silent.
it. You asked for it, all of you.
Go ahead. I'm on your side.
You have a funny way of showing it, Baird.
Don't you continue on and ignore him.
Okay, so the Breath of the Wild sequel, known as Tears of the Kingdom, is going to be released on May 12th of next year. And it says, let's see. We can also look at the trailer. While many people were uncertain if Breath of the Wild 2 would make an appearance during this month's Nintendo Direct, many people were hopeful that'd be the case, given the presentation was meant to focus on future games coming to Switch. Let's see, it says pre-orders have been up for this game for a while, with many people referring to it as simply Breath of the Wild 2. And the name, of course, was revealed at Nintendo Direct. I know a few people who are very excited about this sequel, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this sequel.
Switch.
Okay.
Pretty.
I wonder if this is a temple.
Almost looks Aztec.
Yeah. Oh.
Definitely South America. Definitely.
Oh, yep. He's going to die.
You only got a parachute.
It's all good. Dang, I haven't even beat Breath of the Wild. Ugh.
Neither have I.
Never got. I've yet to even get a Nintendo Switch. I'm saving up money to get one.
You know, I'm going to have to ask my daughters about this because they got Nintendo Switch, and I know my oldest, she likes the Zelda games, so I'm going to have to ask if she knows about it, if she's excited about it.
Oh, guys, there's a game that's about to exit early access, about to be released like within the next couple of weeks. It's called Grounded. I know everyone here is old enough to remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, just more terrifying.
Oh,
I think I heard about that game.
Freaking fun as hell. Like,
and input latency is saying Babylon B did an article on Daily Wire's Black Panther starring Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Input, if you could find that article for me and put it in the Discord.
I'm on it. I'm freaking on it. I love Babylon B.
Oh, the great satire. They took over where the Onion was good, and Onion's not good no more. Babylon B took over.
But, I love Onion, but they went downhill, and Babylon B just blew them away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, there's a lot of.
The next article and final article for this evening's edition of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk is from Bounding in the Comics, and as you can see here, it says One Piece Film Red sets sail outside of Japan, receives global theatrical dates courtesy of Crunchyroll. So let's go ahead and find out those dates.
Crunchyroll, yay!
Yeah, I know.
Where's Brandon when we need him?
Unfortunately, he's not here.
I know. What? Well, you can read that Japanese, right? You can let us know what that is.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, Phil's gonna read
I
it.
hear you laughing. I hear you laughing, Phil.
Consider.
You know, Phil. You know. I already told you one of these days I'm going to give you the article and you're going to read it.
Pacific. We're also old enough to remember the Land Before Time, so I found it.
Uh-oh, here we go.
All right, so I see it. I see the number. It says, as far as the release of it will come in Austria and Germany on October 13th, before opening below the equator in Australia and New Zealand on November 3rd. North America will get the movie starting November 14th, as will Canada. And it says tickets for Film Red showings in the Commonwealth go on sale October 5th, with North American tickets going up for purchase the next day. So October 5th and 6th are the 2 days you can get your ticket for One Piece Red. And all I gotta say is, if you went and saw Dragon Ball Superhero and you helped make that movie a success, make this movie a success, because anime is truly where it's at right now. As far as entertainment is concerned, as far as entertainment value is concerned, anime is where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm going through the. I did the first Von Helsing series. Now I'm going through the second one, the ultimate one, and some of the other stuff is just.
Oh,
you know,
Thanks,
I mean, there's a lot of bad anime, but there's a lot of great anime.
Pacific.
Also, what's the abridged? That is hilarious.
Yeah, I want to see that. Where do you find that one?
YouTube.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Yeah, because I know he plays clips all the time.
Pacific, are we reading this article? If so, please, can I read this article? Because oh my god.
What, the
Are you gonna read the
one
Japanese?
from the Babylon Bee?
Yes.
You want to read the one from the Babylon Bee? I hope you got it up on your screen.
Yes, I do.
Wait, he's gonna read. All right, everybody, brace yourselves.
Tell me when they go.
All right, hold on. Your attention, please. Now batting for PACIFIC414. Chaos, also known as TKO.
Relief pictures in. Okay.
All right. Nashville, Tennessee. The Daily Wire has announced that in response to Disney's continued race swapping in movies, that they will now be returning the favor and making their own race swap Disney movies. Now they are officially making their own version of Black Panther, starring Ben Shapiro. Wakanda Forever Gang, said Ben Shapiro in his new role as King T'Challa. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, of course, that if a man indeed could become both a Panther who is black and as well as a lawfully decided King of Wakanda, then essentially that would be me, folks. It's really not that hard. The Daily Wire explained that if it's now okay, it doesn't matter that Ariel in Little Mermaid is black, then it shouldn't be of any difference for a white man to be Black Panther. According to sources, the movie will feature other race swaps as well as for the villain Killmonger, formerly played by Michael B. Jordan. He will now be played by Daily Wire host Michael J. Knowles. I'm not particularly amused by these persistent and pervasive attacks from this alleged Killmonger. It has continued to attempt to undermine my throne and kingdom. Okay, gang. Continued Ben Shapiro as Black Panther. How does this dolt even get into Wakanda? Much less, why would we suffer to listen to what he has to say? You'd require significantly better, more sophisticated villains to defeat me. That's why you should use code PANTHER, that is PANTHER, today with ZipRecruiter.com, and maybe you might hire someone who could actually challenge my throne. The film has been met with heavy criticism and backlash, but this has not stopped the Daily Wire team from moving forward. They promise that for every race swap diversity hired in Hollywood, that they will now generate 2 more Black Panther sequels starring Ben. At publishing time, the Daily Wire announced that they are responding to Hollywood gender swaps by remaking The Little Mermaid starring their CEO, Jeremy Boring as Ariel. Daily, oh my God, Babylon Bee. I cannot wait for Ben Shapiro to respond to this article. I can't wait to see that video. You know he's gonna respond.
Oh yeah,
Very true.
I want to see his sister play Power Girl.
Right, he's gonna die laughing at this article. How's my Big Superior impersonation? I mean, I think I need to work on it a little bit.
It might need a little tweaking out of the bullpen, but you'll find your pitches. You'll be able to locate them.
Thank you very much, PACIFIC414, for letting me throw this pitch.
Not a problem. Now,
swing and a miss.
I've been teasing tonight that I have a special announcement to make here at the end of PACIFIC414 Pop Talk. At the time I went live, I had 305 subscribers. I just checked it recently, and it's now down to 303. Whether people unsubscribe because they don't like the content, that's on them. And
I was one of them. Sorry.
That's all right.
It's probably because you're
a
conservative white man and YouTube hates you.
I'm an independent.
What about leaning conservative?
I'm an independent, but
that means you're so dangerous to him.
Well,
he's Ross Perot. He's Ross Perot follower. now see here.
But
anyways, you gonna let me finish? You gonna let me finish? All right. Anyway.
Can I finish? Can I finish? But anyways, at the time I went live, I had 305 subscribers. And I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed, whether it was for the box score, for the episode reviews, movie reviews, gameplay videos, or PACIFIC414 Pop Talk, or any content on this channel. Thank you all so very much for subscribing to the channel. And as a way of saying thank you, because I feel that, offering a prize, someone's going to lose out, and that's not right. So in order to thank everybody who has subscribed to the PACIFIC414 YouTube channel, this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the PACIFIC414 Discord, we will be watching a movie. But we won't just be watching any movie. We'll be watching Top Gun Maverick.
Ooh.
Nice.
I thought you were going to say you were going to give everybody McDonald's coupons.
Right?
Dude, listen.
Remember?
Also, guys, anyone watching this video, please go and check and make sure that you are still subscribed to PACIFIC414 because YouTube has a inkling of unsubscribing people who don't share their specific beliefs on everything. So just double
I know.
And click that button.
Yeah, I mean, I got unsubscribed to Echo Based Network, so I had to resubscribe to them. I know I didn't do it. Ooh.
So far, nobody's knocked me out of anybody. But that notification thing that they claim? Oh, click on this and we'll notify you? Yeah, right. They'll notify me after the show is over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, I hate to break this to Phil, but no coupons still.
That's okay.
Oh,
no coupons, man.
That's okay. That's why the best redheaded women are at your local McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's. And that's why Cash Money still does not love redheads because he doesn't go there.
But it even says on my title I do, so you can't prove
you
it.
couldn't name us 5 real women that were redheads.
That's right. Quiet, Phil. Gosh,
it ain't helping you. Mike can't save you.
Ginger from Gilligan's Island.
Yes, exactly. Lucille Ball. Now, anyways, let Mike continue. Quiet, Phil. No coupons, Phil.
So, again, this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the PACIFIC414 Discord. If you're not a part of it, the links are in the link tree. The links are in the chat here. You can come aboard. The only thing I do ask is that when the movie starts, we mute ourselves. If you need me to pause it for any reason, I will pause it.
Oh, we can't do Mr. Science Theater with that?
Oh. Parent, you're not going to want to do Mystery Science Theater with Top Gun Maverick. You're going to sit back, relax, and I know you're going to enjoy it. Old man, you're more than welcome to join.
No,
I
thank
don't
you.
know if you have a Discord, but you're more than
No, he
welcome to
doesn't.
join. Okay.
What do you mean? Do I have a Discord?
Do you have a Discord account? Are you on Discord?
No. Basically, I'm. Never mind. I'm going to say something that would get me kicked out of here for sure.
No, he had Mike was kind enough to have a little disclaimer in the beginning.
Oh,
He did that for me.
that's nice because I am a Discord.
How can you be a Discord? That sounds like it'd be like difficult. I didn't know you had to understand.
Aren't we having
I'm going by the
Discords here?
dictionary
Aren't we doing our own Discord here?
In a way, we are. Yes, I guess.
Hey, Cash, read what Crit put in there just for you.
No, I am not gonna read that slothfulness.
Yeah, don't you
reviews. I'm
start.
gonna say
You
slothfulness
take
because
your
my
medicine and
movie,
enjoy it.
kicking and screaming. No, I will not read that nonsense. I can tell you that both those pieces of property can go suck it. That's it.
What? Why?
Guys,
do you
what am I
not
missing
like
here?
Guys, why, Cash?
What am I missing?
You'd have to go to Phantomology's channel. There's a clip
don't
that
do it, Bill. Yes.
Yeah.
there's a clip there.
I mean, if he's still on, I gotta go over there. So hopefully,
I've got to get over there too. That's probably why Paul was like,
still on.
Guys, I'm really looking forward to this new Ben Shapiro Black Panther movie. Like, I'm really hyped for that.
You've got to. Crit's got to let that go. It's been over a year. He's got to let it go. You
It's
too,
classic.
Phil.
I love it. Keep it, Crit.
You guys got to let it go, man.
No.
Let it go. Let it go.
Oh no.
It's a classic, and Kurt done a wonderful job doing it when he did it. Why do you not like Snake Eyes?
Why?
There you go. Why is there such a nice Star Wars?
It sounds like you had a lot of helium.
Guys,
looking at what Phil has got tagged on him. When will the erasing of history? Well, the big thing is, I'm so old. I am history. When are they going to erase me?
Okay,
Never.
guys,
We're
I'm
gonna
putting
keep
this
you
article.
forever.
This article is so. I have to put in pirate chat, but everyone, it's your own. Babble at me. Oh my god.
Yes, I love them.
That's for you guys in private because that might be too spicy for the stream.
Oh boy, I think Chaos is broken.
He is.
It's okay. Yeah.
The only joke I know about Japan I can't put in here.
Oh wait, never mind. No. My bad. It just sent the same one. Hold on. Let me
I'm gonna say we already looked at that one.
Click on this article. Hold on.
There
There we go. Okay. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know I said we were going for 2 hours tonight. We went 2.5 hours, but I appreciate everybody being here.
There we go.
I appreciate Gap Stargate being here. I know he's Gap After Dark now, but old habits die hard. I want to thank Old Man for jumping in here. I want to thank Baron for jumping in here. Chaos, Bill, thank you for jumping in. Cash, thank you for jumping in. If there's anything you gentlemen would like to promote, and also Jet Sparks, I don't want to forget about Jet Sparks. If there's anything you gentlemen would like to promote, now's the time.
I'd like to promote Baron to get off his dead rear end and go back on his toe.
I'm getting there.
This week on the Phantom Hooligans, I'll be doing a challenge where I'm going to be playing this game called River City Girls on hard difficulty. So stay tuned for that.
Will you be playing a redhead?
I think one of the characters might be a redhead. Yes.
Oh my god! I'll be there for that.
Oh my goodness.
Phil.
You know what? One day, I'm waiting for the day that he comes on Pacific's channel and he pops on his video and he's sitting right next to a redheaded woman. But until that day happens, Bill is going to run with the Cash Money Hates Redheads.
Uh-huh. And, well, I'm going to still tell you, Conan the Destroyer is still a bad movie. So.
And you know what? Watch it with me. Prove it to me that it's bad.
It's bad. Just watch it.
Watch it with me.
I watched it.
No.
Watch it again?
Watch it with me.
Ugh.
Yes.
Oh
And
man.
thank
Good
you,
night,
Input Latency, for being here tonight. Crit, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it, brother. And I also want to thank Anonymous.
Oh, he was in
He
the
wants
chat.
to promote good hygiene.
All right,
Well,
Animals.
Are you
I
down to
think
kill
that
some
calls
bugs?
for the video. Play the
Crit wouldn't
song.
even attempt TMT.
Anonymous. Come on, play the song.
His internet would fall to pieces again.
True. He may not be on the panel, but you're in the chat, brother. So Anonymous. Anonymous. Anonymous.
I love that.
It's so
You know,
funny.
if I lived next to Anonymous, I would pay two little girls to go under his window, knock on it, and start singing that song.
Yeah.
Not creepy at all.
Not creepy at all. Not at all.
Hey,
Nope.
can you imagine
Also-
the look of horror on his face when he opens his window curtains and yeah.
I also want to thank Phantomology. Thank you, Paul. And
Yeah,
of course,
Paul.
Baron. I'm gonna borrow a line from someone you know very well, whose panels you've been on very well. Why are you in the chat when you're on the panel?
Yeah.
Because he's upset with me because I went into his channel and I asked for my coupon, so I guess I was just trying to get revenge.
I wasn't in your chat, was I?
Wait, what?
I don't think I was in your chat at all. I just came right on over. Oh, I know, because I asked a question to Paul. Yeah.
Well, can you
Thanks.
highlight what Anonymous just said?
I will. He's
It's
got to
very
wait.
important.
He's got to wait. He's got to
gotta
wait.
get him. I got
He's gotta
my
wait.
response back to you, Mike, you're okay.
Yeah, I know. I've watched pop culture Mindfield enough, but you know, Gary and Keith are good guys. And no,
They
I'm
are.
not kissing ass. I'm speaking truthfully. So if they ever see this, I enjoy what you guys do. I enjoy the panels that you guys do. I enjoyed watching your live streams covering the 56th anniversary of Star Trek last week. You guys are great guys, and thank you for being here for all of us on YouTube.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah.
I also
got
want to
say this
thank.
much. No group show or group anything is anything without Phil and Dee Dee.
What's up?
That's what did I do now?
He's giving you praise.
Oh, you giving me praise.
It's something that's something you're not used to.
No, I'm just shocked. But then again, it's from the elderly. The Alliance of the Elderly is still here. So, you know, we're
At
tired of the
75,
abuse.
I think I'm elderly.
You know, I am proud that I hit 50 and got my AARP card. I waited practically 20 years to get it. You know how good does it feel to go into a store and you throw it down and you say, "There's my AARP card," and I get my discount?
I'm old.
I'm old and proud of it.
Rich.
Hey, Pacific.
Great pride. Get off my lawn.
You got some
And
bug killing energy in you, brother?
No, I just said I have another panel to go to.
Yeah.
I don't need a
How do I?
tell everybody I need a discount. I just walk in and look at them. And if they don't like it, I look at them and say, "You know what you're getting for Christmas?"
Coal.
No, don't you remember, Chaos? When I mentioned Paul's name, I said, "Yeah, he's probably wondering where I'm at."
Oh.
Yep. Same here. He asked me to come over there too. So.
Ooh.
Phantomology.
Yeah,
okay.
Phantomology.
Oh, do we
The
have something
elderly
to do?
abuse.
Okay.
I also want to thank Gap After Dark. Wow, the enthusiasm.
Oh.
And of course, I want to thank the Padawannabe. Thank you, Padawannabe.
Hey.
I also want to thank Leia Rose.
Hey, Leah.
We also had Whoopa Troopa. Hail Emperor Whoopa.
My brother. Justice for the outfielders. In the field.
Whoopa whoopa.
The Manchurian candidate.
And I also want to thank Pops. Thanks for stopping by, Pops. Really appreciate it, brother. And of course, I want to thank DJ Ronnie G, although he's not a real DJ. He says so himself. And of course, I want to thank Chaos. Thank you for being here, Chaos.
Yo. Why are you posting in the chat when you're on the panel?
I'm not. What are you talking about?
You did earlier. I am here.
That was before I was on the panel.
You're technically on the panel now, so why are you posting?
I didn't post anything. What are you talking about?
Just
I'm
go
here
with
from
it.
like an
Just
hour
go with
ago.
it. Could you please go with it?
Because I am still here, yes. Yes. How's your justice thing going, panel?
I know, Baron. I know. We'll never get out of here.
Have you defeated evil?
Of course I defeat evil. I defeat Shredder.
Did you hit
The
them
Cowabunga
with that?
collection.
Did you hit them with that PACIFIC414 smash?
Of course I did. Old man, thank you for coming on the panel. Thank you for being in the chat, and thank you for supporting the channel, brother.
Oh, thank you so much for having me in here.
Well,
you can't believe how much I appreciate being with all you guys.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's good to have you here, man.
You're going to make me blush, and since I'm black, it's going to make me purple, so stop.
Oh, my gosh.
And I also want to thank Jet Sparks. Thank you, brother. And of course, Games, Movies, and Comics R Us, GMC. Thank you for stopping by, brother. And thank you for stopping by during my stream of MLB The Show 22 the other night. Where, yes, Phil, I was actually playing. It wasn't
not cheesy.
It wasn't, AI versus AI. I know how much you despise that. I know how much you despise it.
Makes me want to cry, like that little image in that email. How can someone be so cheesy to stream AI versus AI?
It's up to the individual. But I do want to thank you for being on the panel, Bill, and always being in the chat. And of course, let's see. Yeah, here it is right here.
No, the next one, 2 down. No, the next one, 2 down. The next one. Everybody knows
pudding.
You cannot have your pudding until you eat your meat. If you don't know the song, then I can't help you.
Nope. I'm not touching that one.
All in all, we're another brick in the wall.
So, thank you, everybody, for being here tonight, supporting the channel, leaving a like, leaving a dislike, sharing out the stream. Greatly appreciate it. Cash, we have something coming up, don't we?
Yeah, you're supposed to play Ninja Turtles with a special guest.
True, but we also have something else coming up. I don't know if Cash wants me
to.
Redheaded
women? You're going to shock the
I
world?
wish. I wish.
Oh my gosh, is Phil being weird again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to announce what we're doing here soon, or do you want to wait?
I mean, we can announce. We just don't have a time. We just don't have a day and time yet for it. But we're going to be. At first, I was like, we could do one episode on Pacific Stream for Cobra Kai, then we do another one on the Phantom Hooligans. But then I was like, well, I think I was talking to some people recently, and probably a lot of people binge watched it. So I guess we should do a few episodes on Pacific's channel, because Pacific and I have been collaborating more. So he's on his channel, I'm on my channel, then we go on each other's channels, and I still need to have Baron on, and some of you guys, even Phil. Phil's. I've had him on before. It's just been a while.
I was there one time.
Yeah.
With the hooligans.
Yes, you were.
Yep. And I agree with Crit. I would pay millions of dollars to have Crit be able to sing Snake Eyes just for cash money.
There's no theme song to it.
Oh, we're going to get one for you.
Oh my goodness. Anyways,
all to write it.
yeah, when we're gonna probably finish up the season, I think, Mike, and then we're gonna we'll do 2 episodes on your channel, 2 on mine, and so just advertising and showing people that you should work together with other channels, and there's still like-minded people out there who want to work together.
Because we had fun doing the Cowabunga collection, and
We did.
streaming the arcade games, streaming Turtles in Time, Hyperstone Heist, and even Tournament Fighters. That was down to the wire when we were playing.
Yes.
I
And
like it because it wasn't cheap AI against AI.
And I also remember one time I was playing Grounded and this mysterious voice was telling me to do horrible things to insects.
Wow.
Mysterious voice, you say?
Huh, I know. It was making me doubting things about myself. What was happening?
It was just telling you the truth.
Somebody asked me to do so. Dash, before I go. Snake Eyes, the movie, was not the movie we wanted, but a talking Snake Eyes is what we needed.
No, Phil. You are wrong on that point.
The voice is back! What do you want me to do?
Oh,
mysterious
my
voice
gosh.
in my head.
I want you to meditate after hearing what Bill McCracken said, so you do not commit an act of violence.
What if the bee tries to sting me in the face again? That hurt last time.
I'm getting flashbacks of Weird Science where they talk to him and they tell the guy that he's God and he's using the voice thing, and yeah, I'm getting that right now.
Bill, are you doubting my abilities?
Yeah.
Are you saying I am not him? Well, you're right.
I got a question.
You're not me, and he
I
is
have a
not
question too. Oh, go ahead.
I have a question. What does God need with a YouTube channel?
Anything he wants.
It's more of a what does a psychotic premonition within the confines of your skull plate need with a YouTube channel? Huh.
I have a feeling if
What
God
do you
was
say?
smart, it'd be a lot less woke.
What would happen to Cash Money? He gets stranded on the island full of gingers.
That'd be heaven.
Sounds like,
That would
sounds
be
like
heaven.
heaven, right? Yeah.
It'd be a lot worse.
In heaven, they have red hair.
Phil just has nightmares of redheads. I think that's why. That's why he wants to believe that other people hate them. But
You know what I call this? I call this the Minnesota goodbye.
Yeah, I've got to go to Paul's expecting me, but I do want to give a quick update because I know I'm not doing the box score, but I might as well put this up here because as a Cup fan, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I gotta say, in a season that hasn't been exactly the way I wanted it to go, but I'm feeling good right now, ladies and gentlemen. Because
Shame they're still in last place.
Cubs aren't in last place; they're in third place in their division.
Let's see the standings.
All right, I'll show you the standings. But the
I
Cubs
wanna
swept
see
the
it.
Mets. Sweep the Mets. Sweep the Mets. Come on, Cubbies, and sweep the Mets.
When a sorry team beats a couple of teams, and then all of a sudden it's like they won the World Series.
Well, you know what? The Cubs are playing the role of spoiler right now, Phil.
That's cool and all, Mike. But there's a certain team
I did acknowledge the Dodgers last night. I did say with a win tonight in Arizona, they could win their division. So go back and watch last night's episode of the box score. I do give them credit. All right. So as of right now, the Atlanta Braves are only half game behind the New York Mets because of the Mets losing tonight to the Cubs.
Yeah.
But the Cubs are in third place and they're 22 and a half games out in the Central. There, you happy, Phil? Oh, let's see where your A's are at.
Well, I'm not denying this
wow,
year they suck.
Wow,
but if you know
last
how the trend goes, it's one season they suck, next season they make the playoffs, next season they suck. Yeah, I'm stuck. This is the off season.
I still can't believe that the Angels are actually thinking about selling the team. That is just some
Yep.
crazy stuff to me. And I feel like they put themselves in some bad positions, those contracts, the last few years. And there's two players that they can build around. Trout,
Trout and Ohtani.
Yes.
Well, let's look at the other Chicago team that you real quickly dismissed. They might make the playoffs. They still have a shot.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the White Sox real quick, and then I've got to sign off.
Yeah.
The real Chi-Town team.
All right, going back to the standings. The real Chi-Town team. The real Chi-Town team might couple up an ass. And that's not the first time I've ever said that in my life. If my late mother were here, she would confirm it.
Ooh.
Indeed.
All right, so the White Sox, well, they're 4 games back in the division, and they are 6.5 games back in the wild card race. Meanwhile,
they can do it.
All right.
The Cleveland Guardians, although I did say Indians last night, force a habit.
Who cares? It's good.
They're always beating the Indians.
Tomato. Who cares?
Because, like I said in last night's box score, whenever you look at the stats for the 2016 World Series, it'll say Cubs versus Indians.
Yeah. But the Guardians is a stupid name anyways. Yeah,
It
Cleveland, you heard that, and you're having trouble filling the fans, the seats. The fans aren't coming because one of the reasons is they don't like the name.
Yep.
Maybe that's better now, but they are in first place in their division. Guardians of idiocy. That's what I like to call it. It's a stupid name. Yeah.
And another example of go broke.
Uh-huh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to leave you here tonight. I will be back sometime to do another gaming stream. I just haven't figured out what day it's going to be yet. But remember, this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the PACIFIC414 Discord, we will be watching Top Gun Maverick, and you're all invited.
Yay.
Will you be providing snacks, popcorn, and soda?
You bring your own.
How cheesy. Oh, Lordy.
Why are you like a hand-me-down person?
No,
Phil?
the way you
First
start with
coupon,
that.
Good night, everybody.
then